and grown. Disobedience turned their hearts to stone. Truth sown, now they're paying rent in Hades' bone home. Both crackheads, no shelter in the night. Underworld gates, that eternal fright. Denials echo through torturous flight. Only face facts could have saved their plight. Lightning crack, no way back. Lost souls on Brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Zeus truth or face the dole. Charon's boats too full to float. Wails of the foolish on the underworld note. Denied Olympian, decree now they don't. Eternal chains, no antidote. Gods convene, truth unseen. Demigods whisper, lost souls scream. Follow the path or drown in the stream. Zeus' wrath, a cruel dream. Dreams of torment echo loud. Lost in sulfur, desperate, proud. Zeus watches from Olympus' cloud. Rejected truth, their fates avowed.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Convene, no way back.
Hey.
Lost souls on Brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Or face the dole. Charon's boats too full to float. Tales of the foolish on the underworld boat. Denied Olympian, decree now they don't. Eternal chains, no antidote.
Go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get this show started.
Yeah.
We don't got much time, ladies and gentlemen, to do what we came to do. All right, good
AKA
morning.
Mr. Cross.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options.
Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee.
Time to get it in.
Hey.
Time to show and prove.
Show you what I've been doing.
This ain't a fool's rushing, but I'm coming with a passion.
I'm trying to get to know you while you're thinking that I'm asking.
I like to get it poppin', cause my sound is supersonic. I ain't came so far, and it's early in the morning. I just
Woke up out my sleep, threw some water on my face. It's just another day in the Golden State. Shout out to Warriors.
turning up time for a song.
I know the best way to make it is to cut the drama and give it my all.
If I'm doing what I promised.
And even if I fail, at least I was honest.
See, I can only do what's in my power to do, and what good is this power if I use it like a fool? If I wanna make it to the top, I gotta study clues, or I can sit back and just watch the news. Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me. I was born
That part.
to be a winner, you can never stop me.
Don't try to photocopy, you could never top me. I was born to be a winner, you could never stop me. Hey, you know what it is. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show once again. We are back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host, I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here, all right? I hope all of you lovely people are doing fine on this Thursday morning, all right? But before we get started, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest, all right? There's nobody more honest than me, all right? You might as well just pretend like my hands are resting on a stack of Bibles. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, well, it's because I am humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I honestly will be the first to apologize, but it just turns out that I haven't been wrong lately. But if I were, honestly, I would be. And then the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, Nutty hates when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. And there's a bunch of haters out there like him. And it's probably one of the most important H's. It's because I am and will always remain the most handsome. Thank you. Many of you are very, very familiar with what we do over here on this side of TikTok. What we do is honestly, it's unprecedented. It's very, very special. Am I right, Ange, and all of you? We hold these people on the right accountable for their dirty, disgusting. Honestly, and these are some of the most evilest things I've ever seen going on in this great country of ours. Dirty, disgusting, evil, filthy deeds. All right? And the way that I do this, ladies and gentlemen, is quite it's honestly genius what I do. We bring them up here and we just totally surround them with all the facts about their dear leader, right? And if they don't get it after that, we send them where they ultimately are going to end up, right? Which is straight to hell over here. Okay, so listen up. Before I go any further, do we have any Trump supporters out there still? And I'm already at a point now where I just feel like I've annihilated every Trump supporter on this app. None of you are going to be able to bring anything new to the kingdom that's honestly going to actually challenge us at this point, because the facts, the data, and the statistics are all obviously on our side. Any Trump supporters out there? Because I got to give you a bit of a PSA announcement, a bit of a warning. Any Trump supporters? Oh, okay, all right, David. Hey, David, I'm going to give you the opportunity of a lifetime, champ. If you do not want Big Zeus to ruin your breakfast, lunch, and dinner and everything in between, do us all a huge, huge favor, David. And you go on and hang out with those fake TikTok hosts, all right? Because they'll lie to you. Over here, oh, no. I won't lie to you, and no one in here is going to lie to you, because we're going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not. So if you do not want to experience that kind of pain this morning, because it's going to make your mind rack, leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Do you hear that? You seditionists, treasonous traitors. And when I say that, I don't just throw around words like that, ladies and gentlemen, just because they're fun to say. I say that because it's really clear that this is clearly what's happening in this great country of ours. As far as am concerned, it's like ever since he's gotten into the White House, you know who he is. He's hell-bent on destroying all the progress that we have made. He wants to really, ladies and gentlemen, and Kamala Harris said this, he wants to take us back to the good old days. You know what I'm talking about? The good old days where certain people had power and certain people didn't, and it was okay to crack the whips on a lot of y'all's backs out there. And I just can't believe we're at a situation right now where a lot of people who know better aren't actually doing better with the information that they have. You know, they say you have a smartphone. Well, how is it a smartphone when the people using them aren't so smart, right? W Zeus in the chat. And you know what I'm going to do? So part of what I have to do is bring the truth out here and help those who really want to be saved. All right. And so what did I want to start out with today? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday with RFK and the bird flu real quick. All right. Now, you got Trump supporters out here telling us that the egg prices are coming down, and it's just not true. The egg prices are not coming down. You go to the store, I'm still seeing them at like $10. What are they, $10.99? And you put the 99 cents on there to try to make it look like it's not that expensive, but it's true. And what we know is it's all tied to the chickens are sick, ladies and gentlemen. This is serious stuff going on in this country. Listen up and listen to what RFK is suggesting. We talked about it yesterday, but I want to get this on the record because I know a lot of these Trump supporters, they don't believe in science.
Impacts your health and your wallet, bird flu. There's no sign that this outbreak is slowing down. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. recently posed an idea on how to curb the spread. It has some public health experts raising alarms.
They should consider maybe the possibility of letting it run through the flock so that we can identify the birds and preserve the birds that are immune to it.
Joining me now,
So he says herd immunity for those birds that got the bird flu. Michael, you said that I'm spewing nonsense post-election. Michael, I sent you an invite because this won't take long. Please take a little bit of time out of your busy morning, Michael, and come up here and tell me what nonsense that I'm spewing. Michael, seriously. Because what I would not want to do is cast judgment. You know, it's too early to judge you, Michael, but I have a strange feeling you're going to sit your special behind down and you're going to continue to listen to this special broadcast. Hey, Michael, I got an idea. How about this, Michael? Why don't you go get one of these birds that are infected with the bird flu and why don't you just eat it? Eat it, Michael, right? Eat it. And then come back and tell us. And then tell us how it made you feel. Because, Michael, you know what I know about you? And your dear leader said it.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
You get that, Michael? Let me give it to you again.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Michael, what I'm doing right now, and I understand that it's causing you a lot of pain right now, is I'm really trying to wake your game up. And it's a little bit of what I call shock and awe, right? I listened to what you said, and I said, this guy has no clue what he's talking about. This guy, Michael, you should have seen these people that I was in a live with yesterday. He's one of those people. Oh, Zeus, I've never sent Donald Trump a dime. Well, where's Donald Trump getting all this money, Michael? All right? I know where he's getting it from. It's you. And you guys are the people that lie on TikTok all day for Donald Trump. And then when we catch you in 4K, or actually some people say 8K, and if you're really good, 12K, we catch you in 4K, and then you like to say, oh, I don't know anything about that. Michael, you're a liar. So what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is in the spirit of what RK is pushing to his Trump supporters like Michael, we're going to send Michael straight to hell. Hey, Michael, on your way there, why don't you eat some of this fried chicken that's infected with the bird flu? Ladies and gentlemen, let's send Michael straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I haven't ran across an intelligent Trump supporter in all of my days on this app. Many of you know me. I've spoken to Trump supporters for years at this point. I've never ran across an intelligent one that could actually stay on subject, not yell when they are confronted with the truth. And so what I'm going to continue to do is, and I get it, what I do is actually unprecedented, but it has to be done. I bring up some of these folks, ladies and gentlemen, and you go, Zeus, well, why did you bring this person up? Like this person like Michael, right? And I have to explain this to you all. When I get up here and I'm doing, I would argue, some of my best work, I'm doing it for a reason. I'm not necessarily doing it because Big Zeus thinks somehow I'm going to change this Trump supporter's mind. No, that's not it. What I have to do is I have to surgically dismantle these knuckleheads so that when they leave this live and they're walking around and they're thinking about what they're doing in their life, it starts to set in on them. Like that gentleman, what was his name? Asler, right? Didn't we do a number on Asler, ladies and gentlemen? W. Kabira in the chat. Didn't we do a number on Asler? And the results, sometimes you don't see them immediately. It starts to sink in with them. 2-3 days later, you know, he's riding around in his Uber car, and he's starting to have flashbacks about being on the show with Zeus and all of you out there, and how you all held his feet to the fire. And then they come back and they go, Zeus, I'm starting to think maybe you were on to something, right, ladies and gentlemen? And this is why we got to continue to get this truth out here, because some people, you know, some of you learn quickly, oh, that's a bad idea, don't do it again. But then you got some of these other knuckleheads out here, and you know what they do. They like to learn the hard way, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're going to continue to do this great work and move on to the next topic. PSA announcement. All right, seriously. If listen, if I am bringing up somebody in this live, and I got to say this because yesterday I got a very, very concerning message, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to address it. And you don't like the person that Big Zeus brings up, I totally understand. And I honestly, I won't be offended if you just decide to swipe out, because you got to protect your mental health. And I'm being very serious, especially to my fellow Democrats. But please, ladies and gentlemen, reserve the DMs for serious issues, all right? I deal with enough bashing these Trump supporters. I don't necessarily want to get into conversations about how you feel about Big Zeus running his platform. And that's for everybody, especially you Trump supporters, because guess what? It's real work going on up here, all right? W Zeus in the chat, am I right? Sometimes, what I call them are repeat customers, like that knucklehead Snuggie or Tiny Tank Top Tim or Trash Bait. These guys, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, these are repeat customers, all right? And it's really not about them. It's really about each and every single one of you, how you continue to break down these barriers and get your message out here to the American people, all right? It's really that serious. It's really not personal as much as you can, because once you shut this app off, you could go on and live your life, all right? W Zeus in the chat. When you got a country right now on the verge of totally crashing down, and I mean crashing down, you got to pick your battles, ladies and gentlemen. There's some news that just came out. How many of you heard about this? 4,600 Cybertrucks. 4,600 Cybertrucks have been recalled. Have you heard this news, ladies and gentlemen? 4,600 Cybertrucks. And so I wanted to ask the Elon Musk fanatics out there, how is Elon go? Oh no, it's out there. 46, because guess what? It's held together by glue. It's held to, you don't think, okay, they think that I'm lying. Okay, let me go ahead and read this. I thought you all were tapped in. And I'm going to share this because I want to ask the people who think Elon is so-called finding waste, fraud, and abuse in government, how could a guy with 4,600 recalls on his Cybertrucks actually help the American people? All right, so let's get into this real quickly. Oh, Tesla backer says Elon Musk reduce Trump. Hold on. My little pop-up popped up. Hold on. Tesla backer says Musk must reduce Trump work as 4,600 Cybertrucks have been recalled. Tesla and Elon Musk are embroiled in a brand tornado crisis moment, and the electric car maker chief executive needs to cut back on his work for Donald Trump to stem the damage from one of the company's biggest supporters, he said. This warning comes as Tesla announced a recall of 46,000 Cybertrucks in the United States today to fix an exterior panel that could detach while driving. Wow. So once again, the jig's up, MAGA. And you know what I really, really love right now with you Trump supporters? Yesterday, Scott Bassett goes on Fox News. You know who he is. And guess what he's pushing Trump supporters to do? Hey, it's an American car company, and you all need to go out and buy some Teslas. Let me ask an honest question to you silly, MAGA-possessed, demonic folks. How many of you Trump supporters have recently purchased a Tesla? Please, I want to actually talk to you, please. Because we got to stop lying to ourselves at a certain point. Someone wrote Teslers. That's a good one. Any of you Trump supporters bought Gregory. Hey, Gregory, bro. I see you in the chat. You're always on my Gregory, has your special behind brought yourself to Coat and spend the last you got on a Tesla? Gregory? Jesus. Oh, clickbait, trashbait. Did you go buy a Tesla? And so this is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. I got to send these Trump supporters straight to hell. And you know what I'm going to do? And actually, we're going to throw Donald Trump and Elon into that equation as well. Because every day, y'all refuse to acknowledge that on the face of this earth, on this planet, there's one group of people who are the most evil hypocrites you will ever see. Everything y'all do, you always are, in some way or another, copying Democrats. Because this is your thing. It's the Democrats. It's the liberals. But y'all sure are acting like Democrats out here. Now it's cool to drive EVs. After y'all spent 2-3 years saying, you gotta get rid of the EV mandate. No, Tesla is an American car company and you should go buy one, MAGA. And they on TikTok crying, because people, living their lives and they try to say, oh, Zeus, this person needs to possibly be canceled because they've done some terrible. And I got to say this is what makes MAGA a bunch of hypocrites. You voted for a man that is the most immoral politician to ever be in the White House. Do you understand how silly you look talking to me about anybody else being immoral? Because the first thing, the elephant in the room is, well, how do you all of a sudden have a moral compass when we all saw you go out and even on this app to this day actively support two of the most immoral creatures? And I'm talking about Trump and Elon, because what Elon is doing with this 46,000 Tesla thing, these baby mamas, these kids, Doge, using government money to fund this ridiculous lifestyle that most rappers wouldn't, even if they had money, they wouldn't even go this far. Elon's taking it to the next level. And Donald Trump and him are just literally putting out the worst mixtape ever. All right, and it's doing a serious number on these MAGA minds. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire, because listen, this is demonic force at work. These folks are Trump supporters. Y'all are all in over your head, and you don't even know it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's send them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA.
And get this. While I'm sitting here laying into these Trump supporters, I see they're they're in my comments. They're crying and they're angry, and that's really a good sign. That means what I'm saying is actually resonating with you. But you got to do the work now. You got to use that anger and get better. All right. And if you can't do that, then do us all a huge favor.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Anybody not happy? Anybody not happy in the United States? Anybody not happy? Anybody not happy? Here he goes. Here he goes. Yeah. These people, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Okay, here he goes. I'll deal with this really seriously.
Dude, you're the most hypocritical person on TikTok.
Okay, so you just got done going on a binge, huh? I can hear it in your voice.
You're such a
Didn't I talk to
hypocrite,
you?
dude.
Didn't I talk to you
Hold
yesterday?
on.
No. Didn't I talk to you yesterday?
No, you cried yesterday.
Okay, so you're back. Why do you sound like you've been under the influence and it's bright and early on Thursday morning?
Dude, I don't smoke. That's you.
No. I'm talking about actually.
No, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Okay.
I don't do any of that.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you got?
That would be your type. That would be
Yeah.
your
So
type.
what do you got?
That's your people. That's not my people.
Okay. So you don't got anything new. It's the same song. Let me ask you, and this is serious. Did you buy a Tesla yet, bro?
No, why would I?
Exactly. So you're not listening to your dear leader.
People buy Teslas and then set them on fire. That's how
No.
stupid your people
Do you
are.
do you have any proof of that? Because I heard you spreading that lie. Do you have any proof that it's the
You
Democrats
Democrats-
funding this?
You Democrats put a mandate on and then set the EVs on fire that you put the mandate on.
Okay. And so let me ask this. Does anyone believe what he's saying is true?
Let me talk, Riz. See, us
No.
Republicans, we don't care what car you buy, bro. Just don't tell us we have to buy something.
Well, who told you had to buy something?
That's what the EV mandates are for.
No. Wait a second.
They want to force you to buy an EV.
Did
That's
Donald
your
Trump? Did Trump and Scott Bassett just tell you to go buy an
That's
EV?
your crew.
No, there's your
they
crew.
didn't. No,
Yeah, they
no.
did.
No,
So
they
if I
didn't.
go
No.
hit play, if I hit play on Trump
can
telling
play
you to buy a
anything you want.
Tesla,
There's not one video you're going to pull up where Trump says you must go out and buy a Tesla.
well,
Pull that one up for me.
what was he doing on the White House lawn with the
Pull
Teslas
that
in?
up.
No.
What was Biden doing on the White House lawn with when Jeep was there?
We're not talking about Joe Biden.
duh. I mean, you're too stupid, dude. Do some research.
Okay. So you're not going to acknowledge Elon and Donald Trump were selling Teslas and that he told you to go buy one, right?
Are you going to acknowledge Biden was selling Jeeps on the White House lawn?
He wasn't. I saw him drive one. I saw Biden drive one, but I didn't actually see him go out there and do what he did.
Jeep at the White House?
And you brought that up. Did you notice Biden was able to drive a Jeep and Trump couldn't even drive one of those Teslas? So what does that tell you?
What do you mean he couldn't drive one?
Yeah, did you see him drive the Tesla at all?
Biden had to get an airstrip completely, have everybody out of there so he could drive a truck for about 15 seconds. Get out of here.
So has Trump done that? Has Trump done that?
Why would he need to?
Because he said he can do everything Biden can't, right? But he couldn't even drive a silly Tesla. And you know what? I love the fact that I have you up here defending Tesla. I love the fact that I have you up here defending Tesla, bro, because that just proves to me. So you support Tesla? So you support Elon Musk?
I support any business.
So you support him?
That's an American business, yes.
Okay. All right. So W Zeus in the chat, and this is
same when Biden gave him a $400 million grant for Tesla. Same when Biden gave him a $400. Wow.
Oh.
You thought about that, did you? Oh.
No. I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of people, honestly, a lot of people didn't know that Elon was getting money from the federal government. So now this goes to the next question: Would you consider the money that Elon got from Biden some dirty money? Would that be dirty money from your opinion?
No, he's giving it to an American company.
Okay. So there's no waste, fraud, and abuse in the money he got from Crooked Joe. So he's crooked. Wait a minute. Do you think Joe Biden is crooked? Wait.
Trump took that $400 million away, bro.
When?
What do you mean when?
Do you think Joe Biden is Crooked Joe? Do you think Joe Biden is crooked and he's corrupt?
Yes.
Okay, and so Elon got, and you think Elon got money from Crooked Joe in your world, right?
Yeah, he got money from Crooked Joe.
But Elon is okay, right? He's perfect, right? With all these baby mamas, and you know he's on that stuff, right? You believe this?
That's about his personal life.
Okay, you believe this? Okay, great. So guess what?
How many jobs do you provide? How many jobs do you provide?
Well, listen up, bro. I've already destroyed you using your own energy. You know what it's like? It's like judo, what I just did to you. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, and see, this is why we got to deal with stuff like this, ladies and gentlemen, because it doesn't take too long to get straight to the bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of a maggot-possessed demon trash bait. No answers. Every excuse he gives, I promise you, is going to end with a Democrat or Joe Biden. Listen up, trash bait. Do us all a huge favor. Go and spend the last that you have. Go and spend it on buying a Tesla. All right? Because guess what? You ain't going to have a country left in a short order. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send that previous guest, trash bait, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
These people, W. Kabira. See, you gotta see that now. What that was, ladies and gentlemen, was you gotta show folks sometimes, like, this is the narrative out there, whether you are aware of this or not. Especially a lot of us, we hear about this is what they really believe, ladies and gentlemen, and it's embarrassing that to say that we have these people in the country still, and this is why we got to keep doing the wonderful work that we're doing. See, what Trash Bait doesn't want to do, he would rather get up here and waste my time arguing about stuff that we've already proven is true than to get the truth out about his dear leader. And this is what I mean when I say the truth out about his dear leader. As I was saying yesterday, he goes on to Fox News, and you saw this thing he did with Laura Ingraham. Why is Donald Trump on Fox News right now? When he goes to Fox News, it's usually because he's not succeeding at something. And the thing we found out yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, that Trump isn't succeeding at is this so-called ceasefire, right? He said he negotiated a ceasefire with Ukraine and Russia. He did something not even God himself could do, right? If the alert flashes across your phone, oh, ceasefire on the energy and infrastructure. All right, W. Rick in the chat. Then 2-3 hours later, you get reports coming out of Ukraine. Oh, There is no ceasefire. Russia is actually going back on their word, supposedly, on that so-called good conversation that they had with Trump. And so what does Donald Trump do to distract the American people? He decides to give Laura Ingraham, ladies and gentlemen, a tour of the Oval Office, and then presses the red button, all right? And it's not the red button you think it is. So let's just listen to what Donald Trump is doing, since he's such a terrible negotiator.
So here's a question I ask. So Reagan has a place of prominence, and George Washington has a place of prominence. And I've asked this question maybe 200 times. People come in. I said, so who would you put in the place of prominence, George Washington or Ronald Reagan? Who would you put?
Washington.
So far it's 219-0. And they like Reagan.
Oh, I love Reagan.
But here's what they like more than anything. So this is the Declaration of Independence.
Wow.
And they ask that this be done. It's never been up. It's been in the vaults for many, many decades. And they said, we have to do something like drapes or something, because the light eventually affects it. And it's very cool.
This is sad. This is embarrassing, honestly.
Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday.
He can't even read the Declaration of Independence.
Think Joe Biden would do this?
And
I don't think so. Do you
Biden
think
derangement syndrome.
Do you think he knows what it is?
Wow.
No, but look at it. So, but this was, none of these pictures were up. Very few. It's like very little. And it's been, it's been great.
Now, there was a lot made on another network about your bringing in the gold accents to Trumpify the Oval Office.
You needed a little life.
So you have the mantle, and you have the cherubs from, is that from Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, that's actually their gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, our economy is literally crashing. All right? Stock market plummeting to levels it hasn't plummeted in years. We have egg shortages, egg prices through the roof. Utility bills through the roof. People fighting all over the world, and this knucklehead is in the White House acting like there's not a care in the world. And y'all, you Trump supporters, y'all eat this up. This is crazy.
Gold, look. And it's angels. They say angels bring good luck, and we need a lot of luck in this country with what they've done over the last 4 years. So take a look. Do you know that? A little secret, I don't know if you're going to waste your time putting this on, but throughout the years, people have tried to come up with a gold paint that would look like gold, and they've never been able to do it.
Can't do it.
You've never been able, look at that look. You've never been able to match gold with gold paint. That's why it's gold. And this is very important. Very proud of this, Gulf of America. And in fact, Elon said to me, we're landing in the Gulf of America. So he was saying, and he said it naturally. He said it so routinely. He said, the capsule, is landing in the Gulf of America. So I called Elon, where is it dropping down? He said, Gulf of America. How cool is that, right?
What do you think all these presidents would think right now
I
about
think
the
they'd
state
be
of the
proud of
country?
our country. I think a year ago they would have been disgraced by our country, and I think today they're proud of our country.
So Donald Trump, what do you think all the past presidents think about what's going on now? Oh, they would have been very angry about Biden, but now they're proud. All the living presidents today, right now, they're not proud. So this is obviously another one of the lies he's telling on his platform, Fox News. And it just goes to show you that his supporters are some of the most gullible, insane people ever. Y'all believe this stuff.
This is the Resolute desk, by the way. I had that just redone by an unbelievable group. They do only the White House furniture. They do only very special. This is the Resolute desk. Many great presidents sat behind that desk, and many didn't. I mean, they have 7.
See that?
When you're president, they give you a choice of 7 desks. This is the one.
Why? Why did you want this?
Just like I like the history. You had Reagan, you had Kennedy. That was the famous one with John, who I knew very well, and he was a friend of mine. He was a great guy. He would have been maybe president someday. He would have been a real chance to be president. He was going to get into politics. He was actually a great guy. John. But remember when he was a young boy, the picture of him at the bottom of the desk.
Where's the Coke button?
It's right here. Everyone thinks that's the nuclear. Everyone Everyone thinks that's their nuclear weapon. They think it's a nuclear weapon. They say if I press this, it's the end of the world.
And then he pressed it right there, ladies and gentlemen. So guess what? And he was sending a message by pressing it. He wasn't just ordering Diet Coke, which is what he said it was. But you know, when you use the word Coke like that, you got to wonder, right? Because I think I heard some sniffling and sneezing in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, the red button has officially been pressed. It's over. So what we're going to do is, you know what it is. Somebody has to go to hell. To the Trump supporters that continue to excuse this embarrassing behavior and not actually call it what it is. Somebody needs to say, hey, sir, you need to get some real professional help, all right? Because you're in here just rambling about a bunch of things that do not make sense while this country is going down in degradation. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do?
Silence, you MAGA demon.
There's not one day where we can just get a sane day out of the White House. Not one day. Today, they say he's going to sign an executive order dismantling the Department of Education. So let's just bypass Congress and do what we want to do in the executive branch, right? I tell you, we got a lot of work to do in this country, ladies and gentlemen, to save it, all right? But it really does start with these Trump supporters really getting the heck out of the way. All right, listen, let's go to the audience. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. And I'll bring you up. And what we'll try to do is have a very honest and serious conversation about what's going on right now. All right, seriously. I've yet to run across a Trump supporter that can actually explain anything that Donald Trump has currently done to help them. If they want to talk about the mass deportations, they can't even bring that up because Joe Biden has already done more mass deportations in terms of numbers than Donald Trump has. So put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I mean, we don't got all morning to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, put a 1 in the chat and or just tell me you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here. All right, because playtime is honestly over. In case you haven't heard, guess what's happening with your Social Security? Did you all hear about that? They're shutting down building after building, especially in these MAGA areas, right? They're shutting down the places where and they're making it so you got to drive 70 to 100 miles to get access to your Social Security. And if you change any of your banking information, you won't be able to do that online. No, you got to go drive. Imagine that. Oh no, they're not cutting anything, but you know what they are going to do? They're going to make it harder for you to get it, all right, which basically is equal to cutting it, right? W Zeus in the chat. And the thing is, you all voted for this. You voted for this. Gregory, I need you to get out of that fog that you're in, bro. I don't know where things went wrong in your life, but you are literally voting for the people to continue to oppress you. And I got some news for you, Gregory. You're not going to get your freedom just because you voted for this guy, Gregory. You're not getting reparations just because you voted for him, Gregory. And you're not getting a $5,000 Doge check, Gregory. You're getting the exact opposite, all right? And someone has to tell you. Yeah, oh, see, now you have to make an appointment to go to Social Security. Not going to have any countries. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Seriously, where's all the enthusiasm for MAGA? Where's the enthusiasm for Trump and Elon? Where's it at? It's not there because guess what? Zeus has totally destroyed it. Host deflecting freedom. Oh, there it is right there. Let's see it. There we go. Long John Porker. What did you say? Come on up here, Long John Porker. Come on up here. There you go. See, what's happening with this knucklehead, and this could just be a Russian bot. You know, these Russian bots, they come in here and they try to pollute the chat with disinformation and misinformation. Here we go. Someone says another crybaby dim. Okay, let's try that. Paul, if you don't mind, Paul, please come on up here. I'll talk to you real quickly. I mean, yeah, the mods are going to pin you if they believe you're a Trump supporter, right? So that you can come up here and we can actually have a serious conversation and then go from there. Aaron, you can send me a guest request too, Aaron. We don't shy away from friendly conversations about the things that are going to save this country. Paul, good morning.
What's up?
What's going on? So, how are things for you in this country since Trump gotten into office?
Life's good.
Like how?
Don't have to watch the news about some old man staring off into space that's drilling our country into hell.
Got it. So you didn't. I could tell you just didn't like Biden. Don't
What
you
did,
think? Don't you
what
think
did he
that?
do?
Well, you know what I say. He had a steady
He made the
hand.
whole United States weak. And I mean, we were a laughing stock of the world.
Like the way Trump is a laughing stock, like because our allies, Mexico and
The
Canada. I don't
crybaby
think.
Democrats,
I
like
don't
he's in
think.
office. You
Do you
guys
think?
cry on
Wait,
TikTok,
do you
bumming
think
money off
Mexico and
people.
Canada respect the United States now?
Let me guess, you have a Cash App and a Venmo, and you want everybody to support this, right? Like
I
that's
haven't
all
even
Dems
mentioned
do.
that.
They get on here, they want to bum money
Come
off
on,
other
man. Come
Democrats that are
on, man.
crying.
Listen. I do this show for maybe 2 hours every morning. I really
Yeah,
am trying
you
to.
need support, right?
No, I'm trying to
You
get
need
you.
you need people to support you.
Can you just answer the question? Don't worry about Big Zeus, all right? I'm not asking you for a crying dime. I'm honestly concerned about the state of affairs in this country. All right? W in the chat for Rick. Paul, is it wrong? Is it wrong for us to be concerned about W Kabira in the chat? See, you did the thing, Paul. I'm telling you, Paul, don't do it. The American people want answers. Why is the government not working for the people, considering the fact that Donald Trump is now president?
He's been in office like 55 days, and all the Democrats are scared because of all the corruption that they're uncovering. And I mean, like the America spoke. You understand that,
I
right?
totally
You're in
understand
your
that.
situation right now
Yeah.
because America spoke.
What did America speak when they spoke?
Donald Trump's in office,
And what does that
shit's getting
mean?
done.
Okay, but what is
Shit's getting
wait.
done.
Now we don't curse on the show. We got to keep it clean. All right? I got a lot of people who look up to Big Zeus, so I got to keep it clean.
And no one looks up to you, bud. Kick
Okay.
rocks.
Okay. All right. So you don't have any evidence about what Donald Trump is doing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, he just canceled himself. It never ceases to amaze me, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? He did that because of all of you wonderful people out there, really. It drives them crazy when they see that we're not backing down because they don't have answers. We want answers. So, Paul, since you volunteered to surrender, even though your dear leader says never to do it, you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to warm up the lake of fire for that previous guest, Paul, the liar. He's not like Paul in the Bible that actually stood for something. He's the one that's actually going down in degradation, and he's going straight to hell. Hey, Paul, no one believes you. You don't even believe yourself. And you know what that means? May you rest in hell. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah. So again, where are the Trump supporters that can honestly have an adult conversation? American people want answers. And there's proof of this because there's town halls erupting all over the country right now where constituents are going in there and they're talking to these elected officials and they're asking, why is it so hard for me to get access to my Social Security, my Medicaid? Why are our jobs being cut with no explanation? And you all want to get up here and start talking to us about what happened back in November. We're past that. It's 2025, Trump supporters, and Americans are upset. Well, Joe Biden, we were an embarrassment. Well, I don't buy that Joe Biden was embarrassing the United States because you know what? We at least had Mexico and Canada on our side. We at least had Russia respecting us and not making deals and breaking them right in front of our face. We actually had our allies in Europe supporting what we do. And now we don't have any of that. And guess why? It's because of your dear leader in the White House embarrassing this great nation of ours. Elon and Trump, what did you say? What did you say, Don? Elon and Trump have what? What did you say? I didn't see it, but I think you were saying something about some funding that they cut. Put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you. Okay, Elon and Trump has stopped payments of feeding our service dogs. Wow, wow. The ones helping to protect this great country of ours. Wow, evil. All right, just pure evil. Guam, you put a one in the chat. I'm assuming you're a Trump supporter. Why don't you come on up here? Let's see if you can actually provide a better argument than the previous guest that got up here and clearly was just got done eating Cheez-Its and drinking Diet Coke, watching Fox News. Yeah, Biden was never on hold for over an hour by Putin. Exactly. Put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you right up here. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have much time left, all right? Who do we got next? All right. We'll go this way. All right, I'll talk to my good friend, Brother Swerve. I don't get to talk to him that often. All right. Good morning, Brother Swerve. How are you?
Hey Zeus, I'm hanging in there, man, about as best as I can,
Yeah, I understand.
I'm trying to keep it a buck, but after what's been going on and all my medical appointments, including one life-saving appointment that has been canceled and pushed out for 3 months, it's just insane.
Wow,
it's just insane.
Hang in there, brother. Hang in there.
I'm hanging, man. I've gotten used to taking the medication. Like I have to sleep with the bottle of pills open next to me with a bottle of water open. Because if my diaphragm stops working, like it has several times already, I have to be able to chew this pill up quickly and wash it down to try to kick it back in. If it doesn't, well, I'll just unalive.
Wow.
Due to suffocation.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
I'd like to thank all the Trump supporters out there for voting directly against me as a veteran, a disabled veteran of this country.
Wow.
And any veteran who did vote for Donald Trump, as far as I'm concerned, you just wiped your butt with your oath. Because that oath does not expire. But anywho,
no lies detected.
One thing that I wanted to add, like the last guest you had up here who started to crash out in less than a minute, they're sitting there talking about, they're sitting there and they will do everything that they can to defend their Lord and Savior, Tangerine Teats, or Scooby Coo, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And they're not seeing the overall big picture. They're not seeing the overall zeitgeist of the country when it comes to maintaining what we already have.
Right.
Now, I know someone put in the chat earlier about the USDA. That started today. The USDA has halted millions of dollars of food shipments. And for those of you who don't know, the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, they're no longer shipping food to food banks around the country, not just blue states, red states, which means some of this food is not going to the schools.
Uh-oh, you got
what is that for?
You can drop and come on back up, brother. Drop it, come on back up. You see what they're doing over here. W in the chat for Swerve. You see? Come on back up, brother. You was doing something, and they get you. And that's what I mean. This is so bizarre that they just can't handle us having honest conversations to try to save this great country of ours.
Absolutely. I don't even know what that was all about, but they, like I was saying, they halted those shipments. So, Zeus, we hear a lot of them, especially the Russian bears, and I was in that live with you last night. And believe me, I had your back, and I'm really amazed that you haven't suffered a stroke by now. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, because they know they're wrong. These people know they're wrong.
Oh, they were absolutely wrong. But here's what gets me. We're all about protecting the kids, yet they have cut off funding to feed children. But they want to protect the kids. The hypocrisy with them knows no bounds.
Yep.
And someone in the chat, and I can't remember the young lady's name that was in there with you all last night, because I talked about this on my live yesterday. The order he signed to ban desegregation.
Yeah.
Right away, they started to defend it.
Ain't that something?
He's banning it. That means he want. I'm like, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, no. And you and the other young lady who brought it up explained it. You couldn't have explained it any simpler than what you did.
Right.
He wants to go back when it comes to federal contractors and federal employees. He wants to go back to a time when you had the whites only water fountains and the blacks only water fountains.
Do you hear that, Gregory Jones?
And they were sitting there defending it, saying that's not what that means. I'm like, that's exactly what that means. And I talked about it on my live yesterday, and then they start asking the minutia questions of, well, does he have a whites only water fountain? I'm like, what are you talking about? He just signed this. Why would you be asking me that question? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the amount of racism that we see flowing from this administration when they go, well, he's not a racist. He's rolled back DEIA initiatives. He's rolled back civil rights initiatives. You know, he tried firing 2 civil rights attorneys that worked for the Department of Justice.
Yep. And
they were like, you don't have the power to fire, man. One of them went to court, and the judge was like, yeah, you can't fire her. You can go back to work. And she returned to work to the sound of thunderous applause.
Wow. Good.
You know, and so it just amazes me. For 8 years, we don't need green energy. We don't need EVs. We don't need this. But then you got a man out there selling EVs on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
You know the only thing that was missing from that commercial?
What was that?
The wacky inflatable arm flail and tube, man, from Wow's wacky inflatable arm flail and tube.
Tell him, sir.
That's the only thing that was missing. But how can you rail against something for so long and now all of a sudden you're for it? They talk about Kamala Harris, MVP Harris, talking about, oh, well, I'm going to ban fracking. And then 4 years later, she says, well, maybe the technology has come along, and she changed her mind, right?
Right. I remember.
Well, that wasn't good. She flip-flopped. But remember, Zeus, it's the green energy. It's the windmills that are driving whales insane.
Yeah.
It's the sharks and the batteries.
Yep.
For me.
Yeah.
And you know, he saw whales beaching themselves all over this country.
And
I'll never forget it. When he made that statement, he was flying from Mar-a-Lago to Michigan. And I said, so we have these whales who have somehow managed to swim their way inland.
Yeah.
With no waterways, mind you.
Yeah. Speak on it.
And they beach themselves in places like Kentucky and Georgia and Ohio. Right? This is where all these whales have beached themselves. This is the dumbness that they sit there and they go, yeah, he's right. He knows exactly what he's talking about. You know, it just, I don't know, man. And I know I haven't been on your show in a couple of weeks, but I've been here listening as best as I can. I've been
doing a good job.
You're
doing a good job, bro. Seriously, I appreciate you coming in here and just kind of laying it down for them like a carpenter, right? They got to somehow pick up on the clues and the information, all right? And I know you're busy and dealing with what you got to deal with, but it's always an honor to have you come up here and stand up for something like you do, all right, brother?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And,
all right.
I'm going to say this one last thing.
Go ahead, brother. Get it out there. Because, you know, some folks out here, especially Gregory, this deranged Trump supporter, this brother, he still doesn't get it.
He'll never get it. He'll never get it. He think he ain't nothing but a pick-me. That's all he is. That's all he going to ever be.
That part. Thank you.
But Zeus, I know how you feel about, because I get it sometimes too. People try to tell me how to run my life. And I would never do that to you.
Oh,
the only thing I would request, and this is just a friendly request, if we could get more drill, baby, drill.
Okay.
Because no matter how bad I'm feeling, no matter how much pain I'm in, every time I hear that, and it just puts a smile on my face.
Right. Because we took drill baby drill from Donald Trump. He thought he had something, but we took it and actually made it a real thing, right? I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll continue to do. Well, you know what? I'll send that over to my customer service department, and you know what? We'll get back to you. All right, brother Swerve? All right. All right, because you know it's a team thing that we do over here. All right, W Swerve in the chat.
I'll call customer service too if I need to.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
Yeah, it just brings a smile to my face, man. No matter how bad I'm feeling, no matter how much pain I'm in, or what I'm going through, it just puts a smile on my face and tickles the hell out of me. And in fact, my caregiver, she got to hear it for the first time last week.
Oh,
and
wow.
she said, Daryl, I'm sorry, I got to stop and sit down. That is just too cool.
Oh, my. Wow,
so she appreciates you, man. Really do.
All right. Well, tell her I appreciate her. She's doing an outstanding job, and that we will continue to drill, baby, drill, and frack around here. All right, because that's what it takes, right?
That's right. That's right. All right, brother. I'm gonna let you get back to attending to the affairs of the kingdom.
All right. All righty then.
Thank you to the kingdom for listening to me. I appreciate you, and you all be well. You all be safe, and doggone it, have fun while you do it.
All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. That's my good
Zeus.
friend, Brother Swerve. All right, you know what I'm saying? Give him a huge round of applause. All right, you can't make this stuff up.
Drill, baby, drill, we gonna frack. Drill, baby, drill like it's
hey. You know what we're talking about. That's for you, Brother Swerve. Hey, alrighty then. You see what we did, ladies and gentlemen? No lies detected. That drill, baby, drill. Honestly, that's a wild song, to be quite honest with you. All right. So put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter or out there, and I'll bring you right on up here. So as you can see, Americans all over the country, ladies and gentlemen, we're really concerned about what is it going to take for these folks on the right, honestly, to wake up and get out of this nasty little rut, this nasty little fog that they've gotten themselves into, so that we can move this country forward. And we're not going to allow you to try to make us bend the knee and start allowing lies and misinformation and disinformation to continue to pollute the United States of America the way that it's currently doing. We're not going to allow that. That's not going to be an option. I promise you. It's not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here, and we will get straight to the bottom of whatever is going on out there. All right. I noticed that you all don't have much to hang your hats on. All right. Seriously. And maybe this is where we need to be as a country, right? We need these folks to just really sit down and absorb the information that they are getting from each and every single one of us out here who are really committed to doing the wonderful work that we're doing. Let's move on to our next guest, ladies and gentlemen. W. Takesha. Good morning, Takesha. How are you? I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual.
Let me say this, Zeus.
Talk to him.
Donald Trump now supporting electric vehicles.
Yeah.
It's like a domestic violence advocate saying it's okay because his friend beats his wife.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You support electric vehicles because it's your friend Elon Musk. You're a flipper and a flopper, and we're going to just put you in the dolphin water. So
talk to him, Takesha. Go ahead.
Let's put this Joe Biden had cars on the lawn to rest.
Okay.
Joe Biden didn't have just Nissan out there advertising for Nissan electric vehicles. He had different companies out there because he was pushing electric vehicles. What Donald Trump did was had Tesla and Elon Musk and pushed for Teslas. He didn't have any other people out there that make electric vehicles. So he was doing an advertisement for his friend. Joe Biden was trying to push electric vehicles. And he did not say one time which one we should buy.
Amen. W. Takesha. You hear that trash bait? Get him.
Now don't bring that foolishness up no more. Y'all keep trying to make like Joe Biden was doing the same thing Trump did. No, he did not. Cut it
Thank
out.
you. Thank you.
Look at him, Zeus.
Yeah, but this is
always an excuse for Donald Trump.
It really is. It really is. Do you think that they are in the deep down in their hearts? Do you think they know that they've made a mistake yet, Takesha? Because we've been doing this for a while. What's going on with these folks? Is this a spiritual battle they got going on or something? I mean, what's really going on with these folks?
I think some of them do, Zeus. But MAGA's so stuck on Donald Trump that they'll never regret voting for him because that's the love of their life. Some of them ain't never had nobody to tell them they love them. Some of them parents ain't never loved them. And so this is where they think they getting their love from. All he got to do is wink his eye, wear his hat, and tell him he loved him. And so they holding on to the only love they've ever had. So some of them ain't going to never regret voting for him. But you believe me, some of them do.
DJ, is she right, DJ? Because DJ, I'm a little concerned about you, sir.
I just feel sorry for DJ.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't know what's going on with DJ.
Yeah.
He seems to be an intelligent man, but it's like that Trump derangement syndrome got him in a chokehold, like Andre the Giant used to put on Hulk Hogan in WWF. You know.
I remember that. W, Takesha.
It's real strong.
Yeah.
That he could fool the very elect of them. You know, the Bible say that.
Yeah.
The enemy will come in and fool the very elect of them.
Right.
And he gonna fool the smartest people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on, Zeus.
Yeah.
And Laura Ingraham acting like she excited
Yeah.
to see the button for the Coke.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
Bucket Beaver acting like she was on a tour of the greatest tour she could have ever been on. They need to quit playing.
They
Fox
do.
6 is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to watch them because
Yeah.
they were a little trusted news source. We knew they leaned a little right, but what they leaning now is Donald Trump. And they need to just be put off the air. It's getting more ridiculous by the day.
Amen. I agree with you, Takesha.
They are very violent. And it's sad, Zeus.
Yeah.
But times change, people change. And that's all we seeing. We seeing people that swear they not racist, cheer on racist things, try to make racist things seem like what's not racist, and trying to tell black people what segregation is and is not. And we went through it. So it's just a crazy world we living in, Zeus.
Yeah.
But you know what I keep saying?
What's that? Go ahead, preach and get it on out there.
Well, Zeus.
Yeah.
All is well. The elevated shall be humbled, and the humble shall be elevated. And that's what's going on with Elon Musk right now. You went in there and took all them folks' jobs without a second thought of how they was going to take care of their family, off of a whim, off of a lie. And now God just taking your fortune from you. So you can whine, you can cry, and you can moan, but you shall reap exactly what you sowed, little boy.
Amen, amen. See, that's that gospel right there. That's that truth right there, ladies and gentlemen. He's reaping what he sows, you think?
He's reaping what he sows, Zeus. Evil can only stay on top so long before the Lord just bring you on down. He let you get as high as a pinnacle. And then he bring you down to the lowest ground. Elon, get ready.
Yeah. So when they say things like it's the Democrats that are organizing to do all of this to him, what is your honest opinion about it? Do you really think that there is a secret group of Democrats out there that are, taking money that they could be using, to pay for food and housing, and they're saying, you know what, we should use this to go after Elon? Is that going on?
Zeus, we ain't even want to spend no money on a Nissan.
Amen.
Go buy no Tesla. We not finna go buy no Tesla to destroy our money. We don't even want to buy eggs, Zeus. So why would we go buy a Tesla to destroy it and lose our own money that we struggling to keep and make?
That part.
That's just the dumbest thing he could have ever said when he blamed the Democrats for destroying his car. That's your folks, Elon. You ain't hurting just Democrats. You hurt your own folks who believe you was going to help them. That's who messing with your stuff.
Amen.
We at home now on bed trying to see how we can coupon and get these eggs.
Thank you. Tell them, Takesha. And trying to blame the Democrats. They just want to blame Democrats for everything that they're not able to do.
For everything. Yeah. Zeus, we minding our business. I saw this man keep asking, where's Kamala? At home with her husband. Y'all didn't want her. What's she going to come out and help y'all for? Y'all didn't want the help that she was offering. I wouldn't come out and say one word. I'll let
Really?
y'all face y'all demise and laugh about it from the
Really?
comforts of my own home on my couch.
Really? You think Kamala is hurt by the way that voters kind of got on her? Is what you're saying?
Let me
That's
tell
an
you
interesting
something.
angle. That's an interesting angle
Let me
because
tell you
people are looking
something.
for her to be the next candidate in 2028.
What they doing is saying, "Where's Kamala? Why is she not helping fight for us? She fought for y'all. Y'all didn't want her.
Mm.
She at home enjoying her husband like she need to be."
Yeah.
Cause I wouldn't make a public appearance and I wouldn't have nothing to say either. Cause what I did was told y'all all of this, and y'all still chose to go the other way. So I have nothing to say. See, every tub got to sit on its own bottom.
Hey, now that's a line. That's a
Huh?
line. Yeah.
Every tub.
That's a good
Every
point.
tub
Yeah.
got to sit on his own bottom. So this your learning stage. Learn next time not to believe everything somebody say. And just because times look hard, don't think they ain't gonna get no better. And don't think that one person can make it better. Cause that's how y'all was fooled. Now he done got in office and he ain't mentioned nothing he said he was gonna do for y'all on the campaign trail.
Ain't that something, you Trump supporters?
So all he did was set up his lemonade stand full of lies, poured y'all a glass, y'all drunk it up, and now guess what? The lemon's gone and the stand is too.
Thank you. Thank you. Hit him with it, Takesha. No lies detected.
So
See
that's
what I'm
all I
saying?
want. That's all I want. I
All
want
righty
to
then.
put that Joe Biden with the electric vehicles on the lawn to rest because I'm sick of hearing it. And
Yep.
yeah, that's about it.
All righty then. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's always awesome when Takesha gets up here and just totally, she destroys these Trump supporters right there, and they're pretty much TKO as far as I'm concerned. So thank you so much, Takesha. W
welcome,
Takesha in the chat.
All right.
All righty then. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're doing another outstanding job getting the truth out there. And again, I see the folks out there that are really getting worked up by the way that we're running this show. It's like I said.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. So what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we're trying to have organic conversations with real patriots out there, real Americans, and we go back and forth. We do, people who are in their right mind, and then we talk to those who clearly are out of their mind. So it's now talk to somebody who might be out of their mind. Put a 1 in the chat if you still support Donald Trump, please. We're gonna bring you right on up here, and we're going to make sure you tell us what Donald Trump has done that actually is helping everyday Americans. So put a 1 in the chat. Honestly, if you're a Trump supporter, we'll bring you right on up here. All right. We'll bring you right on up here. All right. Oh, look at this. Another visitor from the past. All right. Conservative Coffee. You're back.
What's up, what's up, good brother? How are you?
I'm all right. Last time we talked, you had a problem listening. So I'm hoping that we've recalibrated and you realize that I'm really not your enemy.
No, facts. Listen, I'm not your enemy either, brother. Listen, I'm just here for an honest conversation, man.
Right. So I appreciate that. So it's been a while. Trump's been in office. Could you honestly tell us what he's done for you?
Not for just me, for everybody, man. Let me
get my notepad out. Hold on.
He's keeping. Right, what he's actually doing, he's actually keeping his campaign promises. He's keeping the promises that he campaigned on, that the people of America voted on.
Okay.
And that's what he's doing. He is not broke. He's not broken past it. I do disagree with him on a couple things, but for the most part, he's actually doing exactly what he said he's doing. He wanted to do.
All right. So I think I understand what you're saying. He's keeping his campaign promises. How are we on no tax on tips?
It just got passed, brother. It just got passed.
Oh, no tax on tips?
Yeah, it just got passed. This week? It was this week. It just got passed.
I'm gonna ask you again. No tax on tips. Your assessment is that that's now law?
It got passed. It just got passed. That's why all the Democrats are mad at Schumer, because he sided on the behalf of the Republicans. He passed it. They passed that bill.
I don't think you know the latest information, and so I'm not going to give you a point on no tax or tips. It's not passed.
It was a CR. It was a CR. It was a CR bill.
Listen, Conservative Coffee, I have no reason to lie to you. It was not passed. All right?
Well,
so
I need you to look at it.
No. We don't got all day to do this. So I'm not going to give you points for no tax on tips. All right? What about capping credit card interest at 10%?
You can't do that.
But he promised it. You said he keeps all of his campaign promises.
No, show that to me. He can't do that.
He can't do what?
If you can show, listen, I don't. That's the credit card. The credit card interest rates are based on the private industry. He can't do anything about that.
Okay. But he said he could, right? He did say he could, right?
I don't think he did.
Let me see if I can find something out there that
I don't think he did. Because you can't do it. It's a private industry. You can't do that.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me see if I can get that for you. All right, because I don't want to be putting the devil on him. All right, if he never did say it. All right, so you got a quick second on you. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to look for a video. Oh, okay. All right. There we go. Let me see if this is it. Let me see if I can get this going, if you don't mind. All right. Hold on. It looks like I've clicked on this video before.
Credit card debt keeps going up and up, hitting a record high as interest rates soar. The National News Desk's Angela Brown looks into one promise made on the campaign trail that might change that.
President-elect Donald Trump and Senator Bernie Sanders far apart on many issues, but not this.
And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on credit card interest rates at 10%. We have no choice.
Did you hear that?
Temporary?
So he promised it.
What year? In what year was that?
This was last year during the campaign.
Listen, and guess what? I don't agree with that either. If he said okay, I'm taking your words for facts. Okay,
that's his words.
Listen, no. Listen, I'm taking that as a fact. Okay.
Okay.
I don't agree with that either. You can't do it. You can't do that either.
Okay, but remember your claim was I asked what he's doing, and you said he's keeping his campaign promises. So
he's not doing everything.
Oh,
he's
okay.
He's doing a majority of what.
Okay. So 100. It's not 100% anymore. You had when you started off, we were at 100.
What is the interest rate right now?
It depends on who your credit card company is, right? I mean, he said it should have been a cap at 10%.
Honestly, the credit card interest rate has been 22% for decades.
Right?
Am I wrong?
In some cases, but it depends on your credit score.
Am I wrong?
Yes, you're wrong.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
I'm wrong?
Yes.
The normal interest rate on credit cards is about 22%.
Oh, you're talking about, well, okay, on average, fine. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, brother, is if we're talking about living up to our promises, you're 0 for 2 right now, right? Because there's still no tax on tips. There's still tax. There's still tax on tips. He's not capping the interest. What about inflation and bringing our grocery prices down? How's that going?
Bro, he's actually been in office for how many days?
Okay.
You can actually count on the days.
Okay.
You can actually count on the days.
Okay, so we don't got any
you can
progress.
Actually count it in days, bro.
Okay,
Did you attack Biden over this?
Well, I'll get it to Biden in just a second.
Did you attack Biden over this?
Well, Biden never promised any of these things.
Because he wasn't ever talking about anything.
Okay, so
Biden was in office for 4 years. You didn't attack Biden over this. Trump's been in office and he's cutting. He's cutting pay. He's cutting people. He's cutting billions of dollars out of our economy. Okay, he cut off Ukraine. Okay, he's cutting tax dollars spent all around. Do you not agree with that? Is he not doing that?
Mm-mm.
You don't agree with that?
No.
He's not doing that?
Mm-mm.
He's not doing that.
He's not. There's still aid going to Ukraine.
Bro. He's not cutting billions of dollars from our tax dollars.
Okay, so you're talking about some of the things that Doge is doing in terms of firing people and freezing the funds and what he's doing to USAID. Yeah, he's doing those things. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So did you say thank you about that?
why would I thank him about that?
Why would you not thank him about that? He's saving our tax dollars.
Okay. First of all,
because you do understand. Wait a minute, time out, brother. You do not understand.
This is crazy.
That the United States makes zero money. The United States.
Okay,
makes
how about
zero
we
money.
do it this way,
All
brother?
the money comes from our tax dollars, brother.
Brother, okay, how about we do it this way? Let me finish going through my list of promises, and then we'll go into the conspiracies. All right? Because I don't got all morning.
There's no conspiracy.
So
you do know
what?
that
No. I want to get. I want to get back to. I want to get back to some of the things that he promised.
Do you? The money that the United States spends is our tax
So we're not going to listen. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is this. Obviously, this conversation isn't really going to a place of higher learning. I don't feel like I'm actually, getting more knowledge. I feel like you're taking.
You should.
No,
brother. Listen. As a host, you should want your people to be able to have a conversation with you. You should be an interviewer, okay? And you should want to hear what the people have to say.
But
okay,
but
And
if it's
listen.
not making any sense, then I can't, right? Because where we're at right now is
so you disagree with me.
No. I'm way past disagreeing with you. I don't think you're able to actually pay attention. And this is not a conversation anymore. It just turns into some sort of, weird spot, right? I made a request to you when you got in there. I said, what has he done? You said he kept his promises. Now, the conversation should have stayed on that, right? Because I was going through my list of promises. And every single one of the promises that I threw out there that I know that he made, you've been just spiraling out of control, bro. So what this tells me is you're not willing to be.
Promises.
No, what it tells me is
promises.
No.
Wait a minute.
I had a list of promises. I didn't even get through them.
Wait.
I haven't even gotten through my list of promises.
And I said, okay, you're right so far.
Well, I wasn't done with my list.
But
why can't I get through my list?
Are you going to steamroll the whole thing?
Well, or you can just simply say. So you can just simply say you were wrong, and when you get to the place of admitting you were wrong. No,
brother. I'm not. Listen, if you're right, I'm never going to tell you you're wrong. Okay? If I'm
you're wrong,
I'll tell you I'm wrong.
Okay, so let's start all over then. You're wrong to say he's actually keeping his campaign promises.
Okay, but don't steamroll. Okay, let's go point by point. And
okay, so let's admit you were wrong about saying he kept his campaign on. No,
listen, he's been in, brother. He's been in office for what, 53 days? Really?
How many executive orders has he signed? Days. How many executive orders?
About 209.
Okay, let's just stick to that. Okay. And any of those went to credit card interest?
Brother, listen, I don't agree with credit card interest.
Any of them go to no tax on tips?
Brother.
You keep saying brother, but you're not answering my questions, bro.
It just got signed.
Which one?
It just got signed.
All right. You know what? I hate to do my own.
It just got signed.
Listen, Coffee. I can't. Hey, Coffee. Honestly, I can't.
It just got signed, brother.
Because we're not getting anywhere. Signed. So here's what I'm going to do.
That's why the Democrats hate Schumer right now because he signed it.
All right. Well, listen, Coffee. I gotta move it on, bro. We tried. We really did.
It's all good.
All right.
I'll be back. Listen.
All right. Listen. Any last words before I cast you into hell?
No. Listen, bro. I'll be back.
Okay.
But look it up. I'm right.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that guest right there. Woo! Nothing else needs to be said, bro. Just go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Daily.
W Rick in the chat. W Little Hawk.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
I mean, if I knew it was that easy to manipulate folks like the way Donald Trump does his supporter, if I wasn't a good person, you Trump supporters, y'all would be in trouble. because I would promise you all kinds of things that I know y'all dream of, and just take your money and never deliver, and have y'all out here just embarrassing yourselves and humiliating yourselves with nothing. You can't get in my box and tell us that he's delivering on his promises, and I throw 2 promises out there that he promised, and oh, well, those aren't happening. And then next thing you know, you just crashed out the entire time, bro. We have a list of things that he promised to go through, and I need to be able to get to that list. All right. 10, I can think of 10 off the top of my head if I just wanted to. And we couldn't even get through those 10 because you got to the first 2 and literally lost your mind, bro. And an acceptable answer will never be Joe Biden or the Democrats. An acceptable answer will never be he just got into office. All right? Because as far as he's concerned, his first 60 days has been the most successful 60 days of any president, including George Washington. So if he can sign all those executive orders that he signed, some of which we all know are illegal, he did it anyway. He should have no problem signing executive orders, legal or not, that are aimed at providing immediate relief to the American people, especially the people that voted for him. And this is the sick and sad part right now that we got going on in this country. You Trump supporters voted for him. You claim you have a mandate. When is he going to get to doing the things you voted for him to do? He didn't campaign on the Gulf of America. He didn't campaign on invading Canada and Mexico and Panama and taking Denmark. He didn't campaign on that kind of stuff. But he seems to have found time to do it. He didn't campaign saying, hey, when I get in, I'm going to be teaming up with Elon Musk and we're going to sell Teslas. Imagine if he would have been on the campaign trail saying, Tesla's a great car company. You should go out and buy them. Y'all would have laughed and said, absolutely not. But the situation that he got you Trump supporters in right now is silly. Oh, Joe Biden drove a Jeep. What does that got to do with the price of rice? Don't be like Joe Biden is what y'all always say. Be like Trump. And Trump seems to be hell-bent on being like Joe Biden. W Zeus. Y'all want to be Obama. Y'all want to be Hillary Clinton. Y'all want to be Biden. Y'all want to be Hunter Biden. And it's not going to work. Y'all own this. You all now support the Green New Scam. You all support it now. Welcome. Thank you, Joe Biden. The infrastructure package that Biden passed, and he had his name on signs all over the country to remind Americans, like, listen, the jobs you got, you know, you're out here doing construction, bridges are being built and things like that. Waterways are being created because of the infrastructure package. And he had signs up that said Joe Biden's infrastructure package. Now I go onto the news and guess what? They took the signs down and they're putting Donald Trump's infrastructure package. Now, anybody that's a free thinker would know, okay, he's doing the same thing he did when he cut those checks, or when the checks were cut that Congress approved during the pandemic. He is brainwashing you supporters out there to think that everything Joe Biden did was wrong. But then on the back end, he's turning around and putting his name on it and saying, now look what daddy did for you. And y'all literally lick this stuff up. Y'all are worse than a bunch of rats in a maze. All right. W Zeus in the chat. You cannot make this stuff up. Conservative coffee. Seriously, bro. Do some real research. Whatever you're thinking about and you think this is a gotcha moment, how about you put it into your search engine and then look at the information before you come back up here and talk to me, because I can't spend all of the time on the show educating you. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we don't got much time. Glass Slipper, what brings you back to the kingdom? All right, because I don't understand what else you need to learn from Big Zeus. You claim to know everything. Okay, well then that was easy. All right, Glass Slipper, I'm going to move on. All right. I knew you knew better. All right. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. All right. You know who I'm going to bring up next? All right. I'm going to bring up my good friend, Val. Welcome, Val. W Val in the chat.
How's it going, Zeus?
I'm
How's
doing
the kingdom?
all right. I'm doing all right. You know, it's a lot better now that you're here. I know that you heard that previous guest. Anything you want to say to anybody out there that still believes Donald Trump is living up to his campaign promises? Because I know some of them, but I know you know a lot more, and you can go into a little more detail than Big Zeus, and that's perfectly fine.
It's you know, conservative coffee. You've got some issues with some of the things that you were bringing up. You know, like credit card interest and stuff like that. Sir, there's credit card interest all the way up to 38%. So what you know. And the average credit card interest is between 22 and 25%. Presidents over the period of time since credit cards have existed have put caps on credit card interest over the course of time, usually temporary caps to spur on the economy. So these are things that have been done over time by presidents. So I don't understand where this thing's coming from. I understand trying to put a 10% on right now, because here's the thing. Y'all keep wanting to go back to Biden. You keep wanting to go back to Obama. You keep wanting to go back to the Clintons and Bush. You know what I'm saying? And all these things that are being done. I want to tell you something different between all the people that I just named and Donald J. Trump. All of those people wrote legislation, put it through the House, ran it through the Senate, and got it passed as law.
Thank you. W. Val in the chat. That's how government works.
Yeah, that's how it should be done.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Y'all can keep going back and all you want to. You can keep saying 50 days. And I could understand 50 days or 60 days in office. He hasn't been there that long. If he was actually writing legislation and trying to get it pushed through.
Yes.
But when you revert to the power of the pen to do legislation rather than go through Congress, you have now taken ownership of everything that is happening in this country today.
Thank you.
No argument about it. Now you can continue on down these talking points that make zero sense, but this man's executive orders have got us in the destruction of the economy that we're seeing today. Pure the story.
Yep.
Okay, because executive orders take effect right away as soon as the president signs them. They're not like legislation that has to go through the House and the Congress and get passed and then signed by the president. And your tax on tips, there is nothing in the continuing CO that says anything about tax on tips or no tax on overtime. It does not exist in the continuing CR.
Yep.
These things need to stop being said. Misinformation is not going to get any party anywhere.
Thank you.
That's the next thing.
Thank you. Coffee, are you there?
Yeah. Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing to all the Trump supporters. It is about what's happening today. It is about the attack on our Constitution. It's about the attack on the three branches of government. That is what we're dealing with today.
Yep.
When you have a president, because the one thing that can get done with an EO is it can be challenged, taken to court, and determined if it's constitutional. When you have a president that is not paying attention to the orders of the courts and not listening to the orders of the courts, that is a breakdown in our democracy, constitutionally.
Yep.
Plain and simple. So please quit going back to Biden.
Thank you.
This is about what's happening today. And
Thank
if
you.
Keep avoiding it. You're going to get ran over by it.
You know, Val, you're speaking on something. You said it was misinformation that's going on right now that's actually harming this great country of ours. How do you think... I guess, what would you say the best way to describe how misinformation is harming Trump supporters? What would you say is the best way to illustrate that to these folks? Because we're at a point now where I'm really concerned that a lot of these people just might not be able to comprehend.
When you put together tariffs and then try to sell tariffs as some kind of good thing to create taxes for the government, when history tells us that's never been the case, blanket tariffs is what I speak of. When you sell that to the country, you destabilize industry. Okay, because now industry does not have the products or the cost controls that they had before.
Right.
So you're going to raise prices. I don't care how you put it. It's take your pick. You're either going to raise prices or you're going to lose jobs. It's that simple.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no mathematical equation that makes this okay. Not as a mass form. I understand targeted tariffs. Targeted tariffs are put out there to protect industries we already have in this country.
Yeah.
Or to help build certain industries that we are trying to build up. But here's the facts, people, and you want to avoid them. We can't build everything here for 350 million people.
Do you get that, MAGA demon and Zunk? Do you get what Val is laying down and trying to illustrate to you? You alone cannot run this country. You alone cannot do everything that needs to be done in this country to make it a great country.
It takes advantage. And I'll finish with this, and this is something I've been talking about the last couple weeks.
Go ahead.
I want people to remember what happened, and I want you to go look up and actually look what happened in 1935 Germany and how America became the technology superpower. It wasn't because we had a bunch of people here that knew a lot about things and they created things. We actually imported that information.
So what Val is speaking to is our national security, right?
Correct.
And even the technology that we were able to acquire, in the research community, it would be called like dual purpose, dual use, right? And we got a lot of researchers from Germany that came here, right? Is that what
That's what I'm getting at. And how did those researchers get here? Because their country was taken over by a dictator that did not believe in science, did not believe in, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up running those people off. And some of them we acquired in weird kind of ways. I won't get into that.
Yeah.
But we acquired these researchers and these scientists, and these researchers and these scientists came over from what was then the technological superpower, which was Germany.
Mm-hmm.
They came here. They gave us information. We took that information and we ran with it. We grew as a country and became the technological superpower that we are today. Okay? Now what's happening? Let's fast forward to 2025.
That part.
We now have countries, because of this president, that does not believe in science, actually coming after and looking to get our researchers, our scientists, because they're being fired from our government.
Handing it straight over to China, handing them straight over to North Korea and Russia.
Got France that just put out their own ad for American researchers that got let go from the government to come to work for France.
Wow.
Okay, this is a reality that y'all have to come to grips with. This is exactly how Germany lost being a superpower.
Wow. And now, from what I understand, the budget in Germany, right, they've made some changes in the constitution that are now allowing them to spend more on their military, right? Something like that?
Correct. Allow them to spend more. And then you've also got another thing that I thought I'd never really see in my lifetime. You got France now willing to give nuclear capabilities to Germany.
Wow. Think about that, MAGA. Because of your ignorance. Because of your desire to be lied to. What a disgrace. All right, Val. Well, listen, I appreciate you, brother.
Not a problem, guys.
W Val in the chat. No lies detected. All right. See, now, you see how we just get straight to the truth like that, ladies and gentlemen? No lies detected. No crashing out. Just knowledge, truth flowing All right, and that's what we want more of. All right, now let's get back to the chat. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. All right, and I'll try to bring you up. All right, we don't got much more time, ladies and gentlemen. This is some serious stuff that we got to get through. Put a 1 in the chat or send me a guest request. All right, and I'll bring you right on up here. All right, you got to be Zunks. I can't bring you up. Send me a guest request. Hit the pink and blue person, and then I could bring you up that way. Maybe I don't know what's going on with you, but you got to do it that way. Okay, there you go. Okay, maybe this will work. All right. And hopefully we'll get a rich discussion real quick because this won't take long to debunk people who support Donald Trump. Good morning, Zunks. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
All right. So you support Trump still, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. What can we help you with over here? Because you're on a space where it's all about the truth, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. And it seems like you're disagreeing with us for some strange reason.
I mean, I could talk about so many things and so many reasons why I believe in Trump as far as the government and which direction they should move.
Okay. All right. Give us what you got. All right. Or can I? You want me to go first?
Can you go first, please?
All right. Fair enough. Since Donald Trump has gotten into office, what has he done so far that's really helping you out right now?
I mean, as far as really helping me out at this moment, I mean, that's a pretty basic question to ask. I mean, what did Biden do in his first 20 days that helped me out, specifically? I mean, that's the stuff like that doesn't work out as fast. You don't just become president and your first day in office decrease the price of eggs or whatever it is. That's not how any of these things work, right? That's not how economics work at all, right? So it takes time, right?
Okay.
It takes time. Give the man time. I mean, and we could talk about so many things.
Wait a second. So I think what you're saying is that Donald Trump was lying when he said the day that he wins and the day he gets into office, all of these things that he was campaigning on would happen, like ending the conflict in Ukraine in 24 hours, bringing our grocery prices down in 24 hours.
I mean, he tried
So
to
he didn't
end
do
it.
that.
I mean, what do you mean? How can he end it when the leader is not trying to end it himself? I mean, what can we possibly do? He tried everything he could to stop it, and they're still trying to prolong it. Okay, that's not our fault that Ukraine still want to fight this war. What do you mean?
Oh, okay. I get it. So Russia has nothing to do with it. So basically the position you have is Russia is trying to end this thing that somehow they started, and Trump is trying to end it. And Trump is the most powerful person on the planet, and even Trump and Russia combined, they just can't stop little old Zelensky. Is that the narrative you want me to
I could go into that stuff, but look, you want me to go into that? Okay.
No, honestly, brother, no. Here, can I stop you for a quick second? The reason I don't want to get you to go into that yet, because I just know it's going to be a lot of misinformation about that. I want to stick to where we were when I was asking you, what has he done? And I laughed, not necessarily because I kind of agree with you. I laughed because every person that supports Donald Trump, and I ask, well, what has Trump done for you? Y'all always bring up Joe Biden and the Democrats. This is why the Democrats lost. That's not answering the question, brother.
Say, what did they do? What did they do for me? What did
brother,
Biden do for me?
But that's not answering.
DEI don't help out black people, brother. But DEI don't help us out. It only helped 4% of us. So why you keep talking about all this? DEI didn't help any of us.
Okay,
brother.
so we're getting somewhere.
So
what is DEI? Wait.
I'll let you talk. Now
no,
let me talk.
But why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
I have to talk over you. Stop trying to talk over me, dude.
I'm trying to. Listen. I need you to calm down. All right, calm down, brother. Now, what does DEI stand for?
I don't know. You tell me what DEI stand for, because it obviously doesn't fucking help black
people. Wait, don't
at
curse
all.
now. We don't need to curse on this show. Please.
African Americans, it doesn't have anything to do with us. If anything, it helped white women way more than it helped us.
Sir, I'm asking you to
unpack. You can look that up. You talk about misinformation. That information is out there. You can literally look it up on Google. You can literally look it up on ChatGPT. You can literally look it up on DeepSeek, and it will tell you. So how is that?
Listen, I don't want to have to mute you. If this is going to be what you do, right? You shouldn't be this angry if the facts and the data and statistics are on your side. You have no reason to yell. So the fact that you're already piping up and acting like this means this is an emotional discussion. You're emotionally
We not
invested
talking
in
about
this, but
me
you know you're
yelling.
wrong.
You talking about me yelling because you can't say anything else. You don't have anything else to say to me besides, oh, you're yelling because you don't have actual facts. I have actual
Show
facts.
us.
I'm telling you actual facts.
Show us
I
the
don't have to,
facts.
bro. I just told you. You can literally look up on Google what DEI did for black people. It didn't do anything for us, bro.
Tell me the
It only
website.
helped 4% of us.
Tell me
What
the
do you mean?
website.
Bro, look it up on Google. It's gonna tell you right
No,
there.
no, because the
Search it for you and
information
tell
that I've
you
looked
right
up,
there.
the information that I've looked up says the exact opposite.
What does it say?
Actually, that's why I was asking you. What does DEI actually stand for? The acronym. What is your understanding of what it stands for?
My understanding.
What does the D stand for?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what. I honestly don't even really give a fuck what DEI
Oh, wait.
stands for.
So
I don't-
listen. You're cursing. You don't even. So he don't care what it stands for. Let that sink in, brother. You're having an emotional reaction because of fear. You are afraid. I get it. And Donald Trump has tapped into that fear. That's why I said, what the heck does DEI stand for? And the fact that you don't know, but you're riding so hard against it should be concerning to you. Now, I know what it stands for, and there's a lot of us in here that understand what it stands for, and we are emphatically disagreeing with you about how it doesn't help black folks. It helps everybody. All right, especially, let's just start with the D. D means diversity. I want you to explain to me how diversity has harmed you, brother. All right, Zunks, now I've asked you to unmute. Explain to us how diversity has harmed you.
How diversity has harmed me. Okay, first off, I want to say before even DEI was even came around, let me tell you. I'm gonna just tell you a part of my history. Okay, I went from I'm African American. Obviously, I was born in one of the poorest neighborhoods in my community, and I still
What community?
went on to go to the best high schools in my city, and that's because I put effort in. You know, I wasn't in the streets doing dumb what or who knows what. I actually put effort into myself, you know, and I went somewhere with that. I didn't need no white man telling me, oh, you know what, I feel bad because you're a black man, and you know what, it's hard. It must be really hard for you, right? So I'm gonna do no. I worked hard for my shit, and I got my shit.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. You don't gotta say that. You don't gotta say that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I won't curse. But not only just me. I have a twin brother as well that also was given the same exact opportunities as me. And let me tell you one thing too. I got kicked out of that high school, right? Because I stopped applying myself, and he continued to apply himself, and he ended up going to college and finishing school. So I don't know about this whole thing about diversity and equity and inclusion, bro. We already had opportunities before. This is not 1965 where you wake up and then you go to work, or on your way to work you're called nigger or something in the morning.
Hey, bro, come on, bro. Now I gotta drop you. Now I gotta drop you.
This ain't that, bro. This ain't that, bro.
You can't use. You gotta understand. This is TikTok. This ain't the streets. Elevate yourself when you get onto a show like this and make your point. But when you start opening the doors and saying stuff like that, I have to start asking myself, like, well, if you're so smart, why haven't you figured out how to actually compose yourself and walk and talk like a person that's, well educated and well versed? We don't do the emotional, I'm right, you're wrong, and I can yell over. We don't do that. I'm really trying to drill down and really hear you out. And I just can say this, I'm proud of you, brother, because you went to a good high school. I really am proud of you. But a lot of us have gone a little further, actually a lot further than that. And a lot of us were able to do that because of diversity. I'll give you a good example. A good friend of mine, and I can actually speak for myself. A lot of us were able to qualify for scholarships and things like that because of things like diversity. So we were able to go beyond high schools and things like that. A lot of us were able to actually get, in certain cases, you could probably get a career started, or you got people actually investing in you and saying, you know what, I want you to come do some work over here because I understand there's a need for folks like you. You're underrepresented. And so a lot of us are not necessarily in the same situation as you are. And so what I need you to do is understand something. Yeah, you said we're not in the 1960s, but whether or not you believe it, even to this day, you have folks that represent the Triple K still terrorizing our communities all over this country of ours. I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on, champ. And so what I'm hearing from you is you're not doing the work. And a lot of the work that needs to be done, you got to do it on yourself. All right? You got to do that work on yourself, brother, because guess what? No one's going to come rescue you, right? And yeah, none of us are saying that you need to, bow down and ask for help when we talk about DEI. What we're really saying is understand that when you're talking about opening up doors and opportunities, you're talking about equity, you're talking about inclusion and things like that, and anti-racism. This is a reality that millions of Americans are dealing with even to this day, that we actually have to be actively involved in resisting. I'm very, very concerned that you're coming out of a place, out of a neighborhood, that you're not getting the truth. And you actually have gone to a place, a lot of brothers are, where you actually believe a racist white orange person like Donald Trump actually cares about you more so than your own people. That's the one thing that blows my mind every time I talk to you black folks that support Donald Trump. Y'all really think he gonna try to arrange for his daughters to come date you? I mean, where are you going with this? When you get in a jam, brother, I want you to always remember who ends up coming to look out for you. And you know that I'm telling you something that's real. When you end up in those spaces, right, when they come for you, they put you in the handcuffs and tell you to get in the back of the paddy wagon, right? You know what they're going to do? They're going to send you to a jail or prison. And you know how they're going to divide you up. They're not going to say, oh, this person voted for Donald Trump, so I'm going to go put them over here with these people. They're going to do it based on color. It's called segregation. Look it up. It's embarrassing that I have to teach you these things, sir. All right. You know some, but you don't know enough. And unfortunately, you're in a world of hurt. So what I'm going to do, brother, I need you to learn how to first clean up your mouth. All right. Get better at using real clean words. I need you to also learn how to process your emotions. All right. You can be angry and all that other stuff, but you got to be able to communicate with people. All right. If you're in pain, it's okay to say I'm hurt. You don't got to get up here and be disrespectful and yell and be an embarrassment to the community and drop the N-word and the slur like that. Like this isn't the streets, bro. You're around a bunch of well-educated professionals who just, some of us have different political beliefs. But if you want to be a part of the discussion, you got to learn how to engage. And being primitive like that is a very, very bad thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some help. Maybe if I purge the MAGA demon out of you, brother, you might come around and start seeing that we are not your enemy. The Democrats are not your enemy. Joe Biden is not your enemy. Joe Biden did a lot, him and Vice President Kamala Harris, they did a lot actually to help brothers like you. But you're too blind by evil and hatred of the MAGA demon to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
At least when Obama was in the White House, Obama wasn't around here acting like that, all right, and making us look like we don't have the ability to think and be intelligent, all right? Let's bring up the next guest, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy stuff we're dealing with. I've never had to deal with anything like that. Oh my goodness, who do we got next? Oh my gosh, oh my God. You know what I'm going to do? Bring up my good friend Shay. Shay does a lot of work around DEI, all right? Shay, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm awesome. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. My heart's a little heavy. I seen a brother out there in distress and he's on the wrong side and he doesn't even know it's going to get a lot worse for him. All right. Because he's on the wrong side. But what do you got to say to that?
that's a lot, and I felt him. I think you felt him too. It's that frustration of where to be in his community or in his society, in his world. And we always applaud any of those that can rise up out of their situation and make something out of themselves. So absolutely. But what he's missing so much of is that DEI isn't a law. DEI is only in companies, right? That if he was to apply, right, or he was already in that company, right? Because I do the trainings.
Yeah.
If he was already in that company, we ask managers to look around, right? Not just hire friends from friends that you went to MIT with or Harvard with or worked at McKinsey with or anything like that. That you look around within your own company, within your own spaces, and see who could maybe be trained for that job to bring them up.
Right.
That's really what DEI is. And when we do these workshops, it is working with management only, right? It is not a mandatory thing. The companies choose to do it because we proved time and time again that it shows over a 30% rise in your productivity and the amount of money you're going to make. That's all it is. It's about maintaining inclusionary environments. If you do have only one particular person background on your staff or in your company, what inclusions do you have for them?
Right.
Especially if they're handicapped. All kinds of things. DEI is for my son who's on the spectrum. To give him a chance to be hired because companies are looking to diversify. They're looking to include.
There
right?
you go.
It's
a sad thing when you convince yourself. He's convinced himself that DEI is the reason he's where he's at right now. And I just want him to understand, no,
listen.
You got a lot going on.
Is everything about merit, but people get passed up. Anybody in here that's ever worked for a large company, right? Or within businesses of any sort, right? How many of you have been passed up and overlooked time and time again for a raise, for a higher level position, or being able to transfer within the company? It happens all the time.
Yep.
And so DEI is in there to give people a chance and open up the eyes to people. Are you doing what you could be doing to help your company and to help people around you? This is all it is. It's never unmerit based and nobody's getting passed over because they're a white man. Like, it's just so silly.
Thank you. W. Shane. I mean, you learn things like, concepts like, implicit bias, right? They teach you about things like that. They teach you about how to, in certain cases, become an ally in spaces, right? And they teach you about the struggles of everyone basically that falls under the umbrella of DEI. And it's just sad to see brothers get up here knowing that they came from the struggle and get up here and advocate basically to go back to struggling. It's crazy.
It is crazy, and it's sad because it's such a horrible narrative, and it's sad to me to see, anybody fall for it.
Yeah.
It includes white men. I mean, don't fall for this mess. It's okay to have institutions in place or an ability in place to give people a chance.
Yeah. There you go. Now, what do you got?
Qualified people that don't get the chances anymore, right?
Exactly.
So that's all DEI is. And yes, we do, depending on what they buy, we'll spend the 400, spend time on the 400 years of racial discrimination in our country because a lot of people don't understand. There's too much narratives of saying, oh, they just want to complain and be victims and why can't they just get out of the ghettos? Why can't they do this? And so it's trying to kill off that narrative, right? That every time the black community rose up, they were put down, right? Every time. We've got numerous things that we talk about, but we also talk about the Chinese immigrants in California. I mean, even the 14th Amendment was pressed on with a Chinese immigrant, and we've talked about that and what that means. So there's a Native American. I mean, we could go on and on and on, right?
Yep.
So, but I did want to bring this up about the no tax on tips. It hasn't passed, y'all. It's sitting in the Senate. As you can see, it's at the status of that. So,
hey, coffee, conservative coffee, come on, are you there? We all know this stuff, Shay, but when you go and do the homework for them sometimes, I just think, you know what, they should have to send you a lion on TikTok when you go and do it for them and make them embarrassed like this, because it's getting played out, honestly.
Yeah, and it probably won't pass because it adds, oh my God, I forget what they said, billions of dollars, $100 billion, I think, to the deficit. So
wow.
I was doing some reading up on it, and the CR was only about funding the government. It had no bills in it, guys. Its continuing resolution means we're going to pay our bills. It's like $2 trillion is what it meant.
Yeah.
And it goes through and says which one, like Homeland Security and defense and all of that, and what's getting funded in the CR. That's all the CR was, everybody.
Tell them, Shay.
We got to pay our bills every year, so that's it. To continue on with the government, and the thing with the other thing, the budget, what's it called? The budget resolution.
Yes.
It did not have any acts in there either. So the whole point is that they passed a framework, and now it's up to the Congress to put forward these acts, like no tax on tips, 10% cap on, all that
credit
stuff.
card interest and stuff like that. All the so-called campaign promises. Isn't that something?
He has to actually get legislation done, which we know he's horrible at getting done.
Yeah.
And so it's sitting in there, guys. It's been introduced. That's it. So
another conspiracy theory debunked. So no tax on tips did not go through the government. We all knew that, except for that one knucklehead. All right. So coffee do better. All right. Well, listen, Shay, thank you so much. All right. W. Shay. He doesn't know the legislative process. I totally agree. All right. So listen, do we got any more Trump supporters out there? We got a little bit of time left. All right. If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. And what I'll do is I'll bring you right on up here, but you got to be willing to be honest and transparent. Good morning, my good friend Yazzie Jazzy. Welcome. I haven't heard from you in a long time, Yazzie. The beautiful Yazzie Jazzy. How are you doing? Are you there, Yazzie? I can't. Oh, you're ready, Dr. Keisha? Okay. Alrighty then. Yazzie, I think we're having a connection issue, Yazzie. Maybe you can try later. Dr. Keisha, come on up here. You said you wanted we're going to have, no. You can come up here now. We can come up here now. Look at that. I think Yazzie may, she's out there in the rural parts. All right. So sometimes her connection might not necessarily be that strong. You can go. Good morning. You want me to? Okay. All right. Who do we got? Put a 1. Okay, doctor, you ready? Let's see. Where are we at? All right. I thought we were about to have some special guests. All righty then. Tiny Tank Top Tim. Let's just be honest, bro. You don't need to come up here every single day, all right? You're not bringing anything. As a matter of fact, you're taking. All right, you said 2 minutes. Fair enough. All right, what I'll do is I'll bring Nutty up. All right, let Nutty do what he has to do. Welcome, Nutty. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. So I'll speak fast here. So just to add on to DEI, we can't forget the A. So we can't forget about the accessibility. Okay? So it's diversity, equity, and inclusion, and accessibility.
Yep.
So to the I want to say brother, but you're no brother of mine.
Wow.
And Zeus, I am Antifa, and you said that you're not his enemy. Well, I am his enemy because anybody who stands against fascism or stands for fascism, I'm against them. And if you vote for a fascist, you agree with fascism.
Thank you. Well, what I meant, Nutty, is do you think you and I are holding him back?
His cognitive... Wait, we've heard that word.
It's Joe Biden, you and me, and the Democrat. Are we holding that brother back?
His cognitive ability to understand things that are that's going on around him is holding him back.
Thank
We're
you.
not holding him back. He's holding himself back because he said that he went to some of the best high schools in his area. What that proved to me in this moment is that the high schools in your area was a piece of what? They were a piece of dung. Because the way you displayed the decorum in this live showed us that you have no intelligence about you. And we kind of guessed that your brother was the more intelligent one because he matriculated, didn't get kicked out, then went on to college. And I'm going to assume he finished college. So maybe you should have taken a page out of your brother's book instead of looking at everyone else. Because my guy, let me tell you this. If it wasn't for diversity, you wouldn't have been on this app right now. If it wasn't for equity, you wouldn't have the few privileges that you have right now. And that goes along with the inclusion part.
Ooh.
Because it is against the law to discriminate towards certain marginalized communities and disabilities. My goodness, when did DEIA become such an albatross around our necks? Make it make sense.
Wow.
I don't understand when people can say DEI, DEI, DEI. Come on now. When did telling people, hey, you belong, you're important, we believe in you, even if you are in a wheelchair, we believe in you, even if you did, because your parents didn't get you, your vaccines, or even if you do have polio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has no effect on what you can contribute to society.
You hear that? Yeah. Now, Nutty, you brought up something, and I want to make sure we get this addressed. What does it say when folks who come from the struggle, men, women, people of color, get up here and say DEI is a problem? Does it show that they clearly don't understand what's happening? Is that what you're kind of getting at? Because for him to be able to do that, and then he brought up, this is in 1960, this is 2025. Where is that coming from?
I'm glad you're sitting down, because if you weren't sitting down right now, you would faint after I make this next statement.
Oh.
So I'm glad you're sitting down.
Okay.
Because I'm about to call you Triple H. So Triple H. What it says is he is too stupid to know his own worth.
Wow.
He doesn't know his own worth. He has allowed talking points tell him that you're not any good if you believe in that diversity stuff. What is that? That diversity stuff? We're not holding you back. Only you can hold you back. Well, you know what? I agree with that in theory. I agree with that in theory. But it is a proven fact that our people, we have to work 10 times harder to get where our counterpart is that's of a different persuasion. Now, Dr. Keisha is about to come up here, who is an MD. All right. Do you think that she just walked through medical school, residency, just with no problem? No, she had to work her tail off 10 times more than her white counterpart. And the fact that she is a woman first, of color.
Yeah.
She had to work her tail off.
And for him to get up here and attack somebody like her in an indirect way, right? But when he attacks DEI, it's a direct assault. I was offended, to be quite honest.
Yes.
Anybody that's benefited from it, you're sitting there going, what?
Listen, Zeus, I said it 100 times, if not 1,000 on this live. That's why Blaga, they're more dangerous to our community than the Triple K. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. Because an ignorant one of us or the
I
most
felt
dangerous one of us. Because then, so Dr. King stated, one who doesn't stand for anything will fall for everything.
that part.
They fall for everything. For everything. We keep invoking the name of Harriet Tubman. And I'm going to leave it at that because we knew why she carried that piece of iron. It wasn't for the slave master. It was for the slave.
Oh.
It was for the slave. Because she even realized back in the 1800s, she even realized that some of us had that Stockholm syndrome deeply rooted within us. That we were happy in our complacency of being on Massa's plantation.
Wow.
I'll take my chances of getting my lashes instead of taking my chance for freedom. Which reminds me, and I'm gonna get out of here because I do want to hear from Dr. Keisha.
Wow.
Because when you got a nation like France, and I'm transitioning.
Go for it.
Telling the United States of America, suggesting that we want that statue back. That is something that we all should open our eyes to, because that bronze plate at the foot of the statue, I don't know if you all have been to the Statue of Liberty. It's an amazing attraction.
Yeah.
The most iconic sentence is, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." Yearning to breathe free. And guess what? So France, I'm gonna take a playbook out of Donald Trump's. I'm gonna take a play out of Donald Trump's playbook. France, if you're listening to this broadcast, France, I'm one of those federal workers who's about to get fired.
Wow.
So guess what, France? If you want to offer me your citizenship to come on over there and help France become an even better country, I volunteer.
Wow.
I volunteer. Because what I am tired of, I'm tired of being in a nation that absolutely hate the skin that I'm in, that my ancestors built, that doesn't care about me, that doesn't want me. I'm tired of fighting for a nation that does not love me back. My grandfather fought in World War II and they treated him like crap. No more.
I hear you.
That's why we say we are not our ancestors.
Thank you.
I'm getting out of here. Drop me so it won't mess up your algorithm.
All right. W Nutty in the chat. Wow. Again, another round of applause. A lot of us feel that same way. Really, we do, because it doesn't add up. And it's just when you see a person that comes up here and does what that one brother did, it's whoa. I just can't believe it. Oh, Love and Life. Okay, Love and Life. You stick to doing what you're doing, all right? And what I'll do is keep doing what I'm doing, Love and Life, all right? Good morning, Dr. Keisha. How are you doing? Beautiful, doctor. How are you?
Do you have a Dr. Sharon or Dr. Leslie in your queue requesting up?
Let me see. No, I don't. But if they're not here today, don't worry. We can get it on another day. We'll do it on another day. Yeah, that way we don't got to duplicate the work effort, right? But if Dr. Sharon and Dr. Q are here, please identify yourself in the chat, or send me a guest request. Hit the pink and the blue button so we can get you up here and get the truth out here to the American people that are craving it. All right, seriously. All right, but what do you got for us, Doc?
Oh my goodness! First of all, I heard Nutty's passion, and I was thinking as they're rolling in segregation.
Yeah.
I was wondering, first of all, would I do medicine again? Because Match Day is actually tomorrow. Match Day is the day where all the medical students, those that are left,
right,
are picking their choice for residency. And last year, we already had several residency programs, including pediatrics, including emergency medicine.
Right.
OB-GYN, which we will see, that did not completely fill their positions, which means we're not going to have more doctors for y'all, which we're already losing because many are leaving anyway.
Wow.
And thinking about that, would I have done it again? And I will tell you, the state of America is making less doctors ask themselves, or medical students or rising physicians, is it worth it? Should I go into it?
Yeah.
Especially certain specialties. So I'll tell you, it doesn't look great. Also, when I think about what Nutty said, and segregation, we already know that they don't think we're good enough, which is why I think that it wasn't Harris's time, because she's better than that, but it will be her time.
Yeah.
Soon. But
amen. I like that. I like the positivity behind that, right? Thank you so much. All right, that's a good one. Thank you.
Everybody else, these black women, we will continue to sit it out until you guys treat us correctly. But the first time we weren't ready for segregation. But this time, we have everything we need. We have physicians, doctors. We have lawyers. We have educators. So if you want to segregate us, go right ahead and see what happens. Go ahead and see what happens.
Good point.
Everybody you need to give you the education and knowledge and services you need, everybody. You just have to get into it.
Thank you. You know, that's a very good point. So you're not afraid of it this time, because you're saying, you know, we've gotten ourselves together a lot better, and we actually are making very, very good impacts in certain areas of society. So I did wanted to pick your brain, though, about that guest that came up here, that brother.
Oh, boy.
I was asking him, how has DEI harmed him? And he couldn't give me an answer, but if you could break it down for this brother. How could you help him understand the benefits of DEI, and from based on the level you're at? Because you're way up there, and you've been through some things.
Yeah, first of all, I think they're getting it confused with affirmative action and other things. And I think a lot of people explained it. It also does deal with service, right? Yeah. I have a child that uses services, and it's necessary. But the problem he doesn't understand is it's like immunizations. They work so good that you don't know they're working. So you don't, he has already, everybody has benefited from it and doesn't know that they benefit from it, number one. And that includes the services you get. So say that you have a certain issue and you need help of it. You want people that are diverse, sitting at the table, making those decisions. If not, you're going to be left out of the equation.
Yeah.
So when you have DEI in place, you're going to get service. Your children are going to get service. When you go to the doctor, for all those that love to, marry across the way, right? You love diversity until you don't love it anymore.
Wait a second. You're talking about the brothers that like to cross over and go over? Because we had a brother over here that was in the Philippines and doing that kind of stuff. And then the ones that like to do what, we're not going to bring up OJ, but you see what I'm talking about, Doc. Is that what you're bringing up?
I am. If you want to cross-pollinate, then do it all the way. Make sure that you also support the services that are helping with that cross-pollination.
Yeah. Guilty. A lot of you brothers out there that are Trump supporters, y'all are guilty of DEI. Yeah. W Doctor in the chat right there. Because, see, now I got a new angle to go at him now. Who's you dating? Who you with? Okay, yeah, the passport bros. Yeah, okay, got it.
Exactly.
It's okay when they do it, but when we do it, it's a problem. I see how they work.
It's also, what this nation was founded upon, since they want to make it great again. And they're trying to, but this time they're going to realize it's not great. Before, when they wanted to make it great, they built everything off of our backs. Like Dr. Charles Drew is a positive blood banking that I talked about on my podcast, who made things, but then people wanted to take credit for it, right? Or not pay him for it. Right. This time we know. So while you think that it's better this way, do know that silently things were being done by a diverse group of people without their acknowledgement. So when you want to segregate things, you're not going to have that silent help anymore. We now are going to take credit for it. DEI helps those that may not be able to walk, may not be able to see. And by the way, speaking about seeing and hearing, did you know, Zeus, that there was a conference in Florida? And it was it was a conference with scientists talking about the firing of neurons in the auditory canal.
Well, see, now that's a lot of intelligent words right there, all right? But I assume it's going down, right?
But listen, but you got MAGA, right?
Yeah.
That it says the firing of diverse neurons on posters. And if you know, these posters can cost thousands of dollars to make for their research.
Right.
MAGA went to the conference and destroyed the posters and said there's no DEI here.
Wow.
Some of the people were crying. It was really, really sad.
Wow. Destroying their own way of life. Basically, things that you're doing ultimately are going to help these people, right?
Some of y'all are going to need hearing aids when you get older, but
Yeah.
okay, go ahead and destroy it because it's had the word diversity
Wow.
right now. But I'll tell you something. It is sad that we're here with diversity. But
Yeah.
something that I always say, something that doesn't discriminate is infectious disease, something that will take us out. The individual that was talking about give them a chance to raise the price of eggs. People think about the price of eggs and it's solely, but they don't think about what affects the price of eggs. And infections affect the price of eggs. So you have a president that is dismantling the testing and the research to figure out how we can contain bird flu. And you think the price of eggs is not going to be affected by that?
Do you MAGA? Do you Trump supporters, are y'all paying attention to this knowledge and information that you're getting out of this show? Because at the end of the day, we're trying to help get you to a place of understanding and comprehension. All right? Just don't, because you know what they said, doctor? They said the egg prices have came down $2, so everything's okay.
And again, that's thinking one way. That's not understanding the dynamics of prices. That's not understanding that doesn't mean down the line. And again, the virus is still moving. A whole nother stock of chickens was
Really?
taken out. Yeah, a couple of days ago, a whole nother stock is positive for bird flu. So I'm not sure what you guys talking about. The bird flu trajectory is like this in animals. So I'm not sure what you're talking about where you think that if practices don't change with eggs, and unfortunately the chickens that lay eggs, they live a little bit longer, so they have a greater chance of getting bird flu. Chickens you eat, for those that are asking why chickens you eat. They're kept in a different place, broiler chickens, that's why they don't get bird flu to the extent that we see it. And
you know they love chicken. They try to act like they don't, but I see the line at Popeyes.
And that's another thing. These are these holistic hotep people, and they live the most unhealthy way of living.
Thank you. On their way to hell.
I don't eat it. So
You're doing the right thing, but I see the line at Popeyes and KFC. You go to Safeway and why y'all in here getting all this chicken? Don't you know there's bird flu? Oh, we don't care. They just it's
They don't
grease
care.
all on their lips. Yeah, I say these folks, y'all can't make this stuff up. You just got to learn how to start doing better and stop embarrassing yourselves and listen to what the doctor is telling you. All right, Dr. Keisha Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, keep on waking them up.
Okay, we've got to talk about the measles. Right?
Oh.
As now we have 15 to 16 states with it. And here in Houston, there was another hospital, Methodist Hospital, which is a big hospital, the medical center, Texas Medical Center, largest in the United States. So another possible exposure. There was a baby that traveled internationally. But here's the scary thing. So this is where, again, we're cutting research, right?
Yeah, they are.
We're not going to be ready for another pandemic and be ready for testing. There was a pregnant person that went into the maternity ward in labor, and they found out she had measles. And all the newborns were exposed. So now they have to go back and backtrack and give all these newborns that don't have the immunity IVIG.
Oh my God.
Texas.
What?
Yeah.
So the baby can have measles that it's not even born. It could still have measles, and then it could get in there.
That's two different things. So yes, there is such a thing as congenital measles. It can cause a variety of things. It can lead to brain issues. It passes over. It can cause problems with the unborn child. But we're talking about newborns, because remember I said that measles is the most infectious disease.
Yeah.
If you have measles and you're around 10 people, 9 of them are going to get it. But you've got people that aren't vaccinated, but newborns cannot be vaccinated. So the mother had measles. So the baby had it. And so everybody in the maternity ward, all the babies in the nursery are now exposed to it because it lasts in the air for up to 2 hours as well.
Wow. See, I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. And basically what you're getting at is the way that Donald Trump is running this country. Our ability to respond to things like this is not getting better. It's getting worse. Yeah. And we might be in a situation where we might not even be able to respond to an outbreak like this.
An outbreak. Yep. Very, very true. Very true. And as it's Colon Cancer Awareness Month, I got to bring that up.
Okay.
I met a 19-year-old who has colon cancer. Something people in our community don't know about is genetic screening. So please, Get a genetic counselor if you have family history of any cancers. Ask them and get the testing, because I hate to see our people unalive from something that's preventable. And
Wow.
45 is a new 50. So I know some of y'all are Gen X too.
Yeah.
Don't get your colonoscopy, because it's the #1 preventable cancer. And we people, 20% more likely to get it and 40% more likely to unalive from.
Wow. So then that means, you know what y'all need to do? Y'all need to get it together and listen to the doctor, all right? W Doctor in the chat. Did we cover everything? Because Swervin said he had something he wanted to say to you or ask you if you have a little time, all right? All right, because Zeus has to get up out of here, but we got time to get a couple questions answered if you can. Good morning, Swerve.
Hey, good morning, Zeus. Thank you for having me back up. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Dr. Keisha, it is an honor and a privilege to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
I have seen you in other lives, and I feel very blessed right now to be able to speak with you personally.
Hey, nice meeting you.
Thank you. Recently, well, not recently, probably about 6-7 months ago, the bird flu was detected in the bovine population here in Ohio. The one thing I haven't been able to find, I have a degree in forensic sciences. I'm a certified crime scene investigator, fingerprint analyst, and blood spatter analyst, right? But I've never really studied viruses. And I haven't been able to find any information on this. So could you point me in the right direction? When a virus starts to evolve, is there a progression that it takes, or is it just like the next available animal that it has to grow in, whether it be a bovine, a human being, a goat, something like that?
So there's not a playbook. That's the problem with viruses, Dark Swerve. One of the issues, and these are RNA, there's a difference between RNA and DNA viruses, but the way they mutate, if they don't mutate in the place that allows them to latch onto their host, right, then it's not going to go into that host and spread. So it's got to have an ability to latch onto a host, ability to invade that host body, and then pathogenicity. So it caused disease, right? Causing the disease. So the thing is that with bird flu, it was in birds. I mean, since 2022, we've had this outbreak.
Right.
And when it crossed over to mammals, and I know there are some quote mammals that are not that are birds, but when it crossed over to mammals like cows, that was taking people aback. It had now mutated because it cannot cause infection in animals and cats. By the way, y'all that have house cats, don't take them out or don't give them raw cat food, because FDA just released 2 more cat foods that have.
Wow.
Yeah, that too. Now we're dealing with food, and we're dealing with people rolling back FDA testing. So normally it affects one thing. Now there's called spillover. So thanks to climate change that people don't believe in, Dark Swerve, diseases that normally just infect animals now can, quote, spill over into humans, is what we're seeing now. So the more it mutates, and it has to mutate in the right way, it can spill over into us. So there's a pig, and not the pigs of people we know.
Right. That was a good one.
Pig can get sick with human flu and can get sick with animal flu, avian flu.
Ooh.
So what we're hoping not happens, that could, is that if a pig gets sick with both, that now the crossover recombination can occur to where we get a superbug that can make us very, very sick.
Well, so the bacon thing. So you just basically took bacon off the menu for a lot of people. What you're saying is folks shouldn't be eating that bacon because the pig could have.
Wait, that's another one too, though. So people have been asking. I told you about chickens. People have been asking about bacon meat, right? So there are cows that are dairy cows, and there are the meat cows. The meat cows are not seeing the infection the same because the dairy cows are raised in a way to where it can propagate, and they believe that they're getting it through the milking system and through human interaction. The meat cows are raised out in the open, and they're not exposed to it the same way.
My last question.
Wow.
So it's not a genetic, so they could get it. It's just that the way that they're exposed, they're not getting it.
Javier just cooked some bacon. Put it down, Javier, and everybody else. Put down the fried chicken and the bacon today.
I got to tell you,
Cook some vegan bacon.
Yeah.
Not ruined bacon for me, and I'm sorry, turkey bacon is not bacon.
I agree with you,
I
sir.
didn't say turkey bacon. I said vegan bacon.
But I guess my last question is, so like you said, there's no playbook for the progression of a virus. It just needs a host to incubate itself.
Yes.
But within that same host, the conditions could be perfect for it to mutate yet again and then jump to another host and then start to cause some huge.
Ain't that something?
Right.
Would that be a correct statement?
That is a very correct statement. And then we don't know the extent to which it is in certain animals because, again, you know how you find all this out, Swerve? By testing. That's the thing I want to tell people. A lot of people probably have had flu, and the rates of flu are probably higher because we didn't test them. So they're not testing all cows the same way or the meat cows the way they're testing the dairy cows. They're required to do the dairy cows. So we don't know how much it's in them, and we're not testing us. A lot of people that are flu A, there's a possibility that they could have bird flu because it also shows up as positive on the test.
Amen.
I got you. Well, that was all I wanted to talk to you about. And again, very, very honored and privileged to be able to speak to you personally. Like I said, I've seen you in other lives, and this was just great for me, for my own edification, and hopefully the questions I asked help some folks down there in the club.
All right, yeah,
And I hope as we lead to further into segregation that they have doctors and scientists on their side, just like this.
Absolutely. And just keep doing what you do, Dr. Keisha. I know Deuce is going to keep doing what he does and giving us that drill, baby, drill.
That's coming. There you go.
It's gonna end up fun, right?
I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, but
all right,
I got to end with my custom. You all be well. You all be safe. And doggone it, have fun while you do it.
All right. W swear. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, all right. Thank you, Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Dr. Keisha Davis a huge round of applause.
There are 2 cat foods that are being recalled for bird flu, having bird flu. I'll post it on my stories as soon as I get done, Teresa.
Thank you. All right, well, we got to get up out of here. It's time for Big Zeus to go tend to other affairs in the kingdom, Doctor. But hopefully you and the other doctors can regroup and we can do it again, all right? All right. Thank you so much for all you do again. Ladies and gentlemen, another huge round of applause for Dr. Keisha Davis. We are out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, that concludes this special broadcast. You all deserve a huge round of applause. All right, I got to get up out of here, seriously. But before we do, I want to make sure I thank each and every single one of you. Thank you to subscribers, gifters, and panelists. You all do another outstanding job helping to keep this show entertaining, engaging, and educational. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame. And you know who this goes out to all of the Zeus haters. No matter what, guess what? I'm right, you're wrong. Go straight to hell. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Silence, you MAGA.
Take care and stay safe out there.
Kamala Harris's war on Pennsylvania energy because she's going to ban fracking, right? 100%.
We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
She's against fracking, against all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, about a year and a half ago, when she was getting killed in the polls, she said, "I like fracking very much." Like they always go back to what they want.
Thank you for
they
the
always go
subscription.
back. She can't help it. She's a radical left Marxist. She can't help it. But we're going to end that, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill.
Curtis!
Drill, baby, drill. We're going to be
what a great show.
We're going to be, for these guys, we're going to drill.
My
sister. We're going to lower your taxes.
W, Rick.
Insane asylums.
You know what we got to do?
They go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack, frack. Drill, there's a black frack. There's a Pennsylvania energy. You know she's going to bang.
You know she's going to bang it. Stick your fingers.
She was against fracking, against all the stuff, and then all the stuff, and then all the stuff, and then all the stuff. About a year to half ago, when she was
getting killed in the patch, she said, "I like fracking very much." Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. She can't help it. Hey. he will. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes. How can you go wrong when you do that? The late great Hannibal. Hey, gonna frack. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. Thank you. Take it. Like it's Hannibal Lecter. We're gonna drill, baby, drill. Here it goes.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter.
And they do.
Okay, they say,
why would he mention Hannibal Lecter? What are we gonna do?
We're gonna lower your taxes.
That part?
Deep insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say it. The late great Hannibal. Drill, 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 baby, drill, drill,
Lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy.
When I say the late great Hannibal.
Lady Rima. Hey, let's go, let's go. Hey. How low can you go? Hey, hey, how low can you go? Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. How much do you owe on that house right there? You owe $2 million on the house. Don't worry, we'll pay that off. We'll pay down your debt. Oh, you owe some taxes too? Oh, how much you owe in taxes? $50,000. That's a lot of money, but don't worry. We'll pay off those taxes. Because guess what we're going to do, baby? We're going to drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. And we're going to frack. All right? Because we got so much liquid gold underneath our feet. And all we got to do is tap into it, baby. You know what I'm saying? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Take care and stay safe.